Good evening and welcome to tonight's matchup as the Miami RedHawks look to stay unbeaten at 3-0 right now, hosting the Mercyhurst Lakers, who come in at a 3-2 record, aiming to pull off a strong road performance and get their second road victory of the season. We're courtside here in Oxford, Ohio, for what should be a solid early season test for both teams. I'm Gavin Stark, and thanks for spending your night with us as we get you set for tip-off. Miami's opened up the season with steady, balanced play and good ball movement that Travis Steele loves to see. Reliable scoring from multiple spots, especially guys like Brant Byers, and a defense that has stepped up when needed. The RedHawks haven't been perfect, but they've shown composure late in games and continue to build confidence with each outing. Mercyhurst brings energy and toughness, and while they have their hands full tonight, they've shown that they can compete if they can dictate the pace and get into their rhythm early. Miami will look to stay sharp and protect the ball and take advantage of their depth that they show game in and game out as they try to keep the momentum going in this short season. Stick with us and we break down tonight's key matchups and what to expect heading into tip-off. I said it just a moment ago, but Mercyhurst looking to grab their second road victory of the season. Got one already. They're 1-2 on the road. Looking to hand the RedHawks their first loss of the season. Also a big upset here on this Thursday night. 5 days ago, we saw the RedHawks go on the road, though, to the Air Force Academy and get a huge 76-61 victory. Brant Byers led the team in scoring with 18 points. Sounds like an easy victory, but it really wasn't, as the RedHawks at one point were a little bit in a scary situation against the Air Force Academy. It looked like Air Force was going to pull off the upset in their home gymnasium, but the RedHawks were able to pull away and eventually get the 15-point victory. The RedHawks are the betting favorites tonight with an opening line of -16.5 on the spread, but that doesn't mean much as you can't really look all into that as we're only 5 games into the season for Mercyhurst and 3 for the RedHawks. Let's go over some team stats for the RedHawks. First things first, the RedHawks are averaging an unbelievable 97.3 points per game. They even put up 126 points in their victory 2 weeks ago here at Millett Hall over Trinity. Just an unbelievable offensive performance, getting contributions by all different types of guys. Even the bench was cleared on that one. Points allowed, the RedHawks have flashed their defensive ability this season. Sometimes maybe not the best defensive ability to start off the games, but with their opponents only averaging 60.7 points per game, that's a pretty solid number that you can't be too mad at as you look at it in the grand scheme of things. The field goal percentage, though, this is just an unbelievable number. They're shooting a high percentage of 55.1% from the field with an average of 62 shots put up a game. These guys are taking the right shots at the right time, and they're efficient. Just guys who can knock down shots from anywhere, whether it's a three-point line, driving it to the lane, putting up some easier baskets, or even the pull-up jumper near the free throw line. These guys are knocking down consistent shots and getting the right shots, and it all comes with the passing. Talking about assists, this team loves to spread the rock, and the numbers are showing that with the average of 17 assists per game. But I think what you got to look at with the assists is the shots that they're getting off of these. They're just really passing the ball around all over the place. 3-point percentage, the RedHawks have shown once again how much they like to shoot behind the arc, as last year they did that all the time, but they lost one of their key shooters in Cam Kraft this offseason, of course, but they've showed no signs of slowing down behind the three-point line with an unbelievable rate right now, averaging 48.2% from the three-point line while averaging 13 made a game. Just an unreal stat that this team has right now. 13 made a game is unreal enough, but 48.2% from the three-point line, almost unheard of. Rebounding the ball has been a little bit better this season. That was kind of a struggle that they had in the season last year where they ended up being MAC runner-ups. They're averaging 42 rebounds per game, a spot where the team has improved from last season, like I said. Still not the numbers that you're quite looking for, as you want to see those numbers continue to increase, but something that is in the right direction. Turnovers are turning the ball over about 12 times a game, a number you'd like to see go down as well as we get deeper into the season, but the assist-to-turnover ratio is at 1.4 right now. Speaking of turnovers, this team is scoring an average of 24.1 points per game off of turnovers, so they're really scoring the ball in transition, getting nice steals, and really just gaining points off of the other team's turnovers. Defense translating to offense, something that you want to see, and that's what you've seen with this team so far 3 games in. Steals and blocks. Now, they are getting just under 10 steals per game and averaging 5.3 blocks per game. Not a ton of blocks at all, but really with the steals, I expect to see that number continue to grow as well, as guys like Evan Epsaro and Luke Skowczyk are just ball hawks. These stats are great and all, but you like to see these numbers, but we can't fall in love with any of these numbers yet, as they have only played 3 games, of course, one of those games being against a Trinity team that's not even in the Division 1 ranks. But this team has been impressive, and they're showing signs of what they can do. You saw in the first game of the season here at Millett Hall, and Old Dominion came into town, and they started off a little bit shaky, but they showed the seniority and the growth that this team has had taken over the past season. Probably a game last year where you see this team really go until the end, but they ended up just running away with that victory against Old Dominion, and I took a lot from that one personally, as you just see the seniority on this team. Guys like Peter Suter, who just really lead this team and get these guys rallied, and Grant Byers, a guy who's taken a huge sophomore leap, was the freshman of the year in the MAC last year, averaging just under 10 points per game last year. This year, he's averaging 16 points per game. He's just been unbelievable, the leading scorer. And if you want to talk about player averages, let's just go ahead and do that. As Grant Byers averaging 16 points per game, just under 5 rebounds per game. Not too many assists, only 0.3 assists per game, but that number is going to continue to trend on the upward as the season continues. 48.5% from the field, a really, really, really consistent number from Grant Byers, as you saw that last year as well. But he's taken more shots, more volume this year, and the number's staying at the same number right now. 90% from the free throw line and 35% from the three-point line on 25 minutes played. A guy who is just hard to take off the court if you're Travis Steele and the coaching staff, because this guy is just brilliant on both ends of the court and brings so much energy, whether it's in transition or just knocking down shots, getting guys open. He can do just about everything for you. Let's talk about doing just about everything. That's the guy, Evan Epsaro, the point guard for this team, who's taken on the starting point guard role this year, averaging 12.3 points per game, 1.5 rebounds per game, 4 assists, 2 steals, and only 1.3 turnovers per game, on 60% from the field on shooting, 40% from the three-point line, and 26 minutes played per game. This guy has been unbelievable. Now, you can talk about Peter Suter, but it's looking like he's not even warming up tonight. I didn't get much information on that prior to the start of this tip-off show, but it looks like he's not going to be in the lineup tonight by the looks of it on warm-ups. He's in pants and gym shoes. But Peter Suter averaging 11 points per game, 2.7 rebounds, 2.7 assists, 1.7 steals, 65% from the field, 66% from the three-point line on 24 minutes played per game. A guy that's going to really affect not being in tonight. Changed a lot of things, to be completely honest. This is the leader of this team, the guy who decided to come back after being the leading scorer last year for this RedHawks team. Struggled a little bit so far in this season on just getting shots that he likes, but he's been super efficient when he's shooting the ball. He will not be in the lineup, though, tonight. A tough break, a tough pill for RedHawks fans and this RedHawks team to swallow. But we'll move on. Antoine Woolfolk, 10.5 points per game, 9 rebounds, almost a double-double, a steal, 1.5 blocks, 58.8% from the field, and 24 minutes played. He has really taken it to the next level with his game this year. Last year, you saw some growing pains throughout the season with him, as you'd see some games where he'd have a double-double and flash what he can really do with his size, and then other games where it just felt like he wasn't even much of a threat within the paint or in the scoring aspect of things either. This year, you haven't seen any of that. You've just seen a dominant guy in the paint, and he's been brilliant. Moving on to Ian Elmer, who's averaging 8 points per game, 7.3 rebounds, almost 1 block per game on 40% shooting from the field, 36% from the three-point line, and 23 minutes played per game. Ian Elmer, a guy who's also just so hard to take off the court, as he just brings so much defensively and even offensively at times. He's having 7.3 rebounds, something you saw last year. He averaged about 6 rebounds per game. He's taking that number up a notch, about 1.5 more rebounds per game, which is just huge for this team, because rebounding was such a struggle last year, and he's really taken on the role as the second best rebounder of this team with his physicality and size that he brings. A guy who can score at all 3 levels. You just love his game, love seeing what he's doing for this team this year. Luke Skaljak, who's probably going to enter the starting lineup if it's not Almar Atlason, one of those two. But Luke Skaljak's averaging 9.3 points per game, 3.3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, almost a block. 45% from the field, 55% from the three-point line on 24 minutes played. This guy's getting starter minutes, and it's deservingly so. He's been the 6th man for this team so far in the season. Last year, you saw so much efficiency from him. He's probably the most efficient basketball player in the MAC, only taking the right shots, and it felt like every time he shot it, he knocked it down. Then he contributed defensively, got gritty rebounds, getting on the floor at all times. This is a guy who just will do anything to keep himself out there on the court, and that's exactly what he's done this season with the 3.3 rebounds, 3 assists, to almost 2 steals. This guy will contribute in so many ways, whether it's defensively or offensively. He's got one of the better shots on this team, but the left-hand ball handler, Luke Skaljak, has been brilliant in his sophomore season. Elmer Atlason, the transfer from Bradley University last year, 9.3 points per game averaging this year, 3.3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1.7 steals, almost a block, 45% from the field, 55% from the three-point line in 24 minutes played. Another guy who's getting nearly starter minutes for this team and also knocking down the three-point line at an all-time rate at 66.7%. Just unbelievable stat there. One of those things where you want to look at and don't even believe it at times. We'll move on to Kyle Waltz, who's been a solid contributor as he had a really, really big game against Trinity 2 weeks ago. He's averaging 8.7 points per game, 2.7 rebounds, and assist, 72% from the field goal, 57% from the three-point line on 11 minutes played. He got a huge opportunity against Trinity and did a lot with that. We saw a lot of things from him. We'll move on to Tyler Robbins, a freshman who's just been contributing a lot with his size. We expected this out of him. Numbers have been pretty solid as well, with 7 points per game, 4 rebounds, 1 block, 58% from the field on 10 minutes of play. This guy's been really, really good for the RedHawks with his size. And we'll wrap it up with the last player, not the last player on this team, but probably the last player who's played in all of the games, and that's Trey Perry, the freshman out of Lakota East High School, who's probably got the most talent within this freshman class, in my honest opinion. Perry's averaging 5 points per game, 2.3 rebounds, 1.7 assists, 50% from the field, 50% from the three-point line on 13 minutes, averaging the most minutes out of all of these freshmen on this team. And the one thing that you see out of him, it's not on the stat line. I didn't bring it up when I just went over his stats. It's the energy that he brings on the court. It's 110% effort at all times, and he's just so ferocious while he's out there. Just been brilliant. We'll head to break, though. When we come back, stick around and don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we are going to talk a little bit about this Mercyhurst Lakers teams, give you some team stats, some key matches from some key players for the Lakers. You're listening to the Red Hawk Radio pregame show. Back here at Millett Hall, just about 13 minutes away from the tip-off here. Millett Hall, buzz starting to come in as there's some few fans here filling in for this Thursday night big matchup against the Mercyhurst Lakers. RedHawks looking to stay undefeated. But let's go over this Mercyhurst team. With their averaging on points per game, this team's averaging 71 points per game. The offense hasn't been all there for Mercyhurst, but defensively, they've been pretty solid, as they've been one of those teams who's just gritty and staying in some of these tough games as well, but had a game where they only scored 47 points. So you've seen the offensive struggles within this season. The scoring margin for Mercyhurst is plus 9.4, something they'd like to get down. Field goal made / attempted. Mercyhurst is 133 for 287. That goes into 46.3 from the field, as their opponents are shooting only 37.5% from the field. Just really good defense that they're showing, and you see that in the stats. The 3-point percentage for this team, we'll go to field goal percentage first, as Mercyhurst is shooting an all-time low, 26.6% from the field, but their opponents are shooting 18.6% from the field. So just these numbers are just absurd. 3-point percentage for Mercyhurst is just above 30 at 31% for this team. 3 points made per game, just under 7 at 6.8, as the RedHawks we talked about, they're sitting at 13. Mercyhurst at half of that with 6.8. They get to the free throw line a decent amount. They've been there 55 times, but the clip is not good. They're only shooting 64% from the free throw line. They're getting 11 free throws per game, though, so a number that they'd like to get up as well, but the percentage just hasn't been all that for the Lakers yet. Rebounding the basketball, got a 33.4 rebounds per game, just 9 less than the average for the RedHawks. Total assists, 18.4 assists per game, That number is well lower than the RedHawks. Turnovers, 11.6, something that is just a tad better than the RedHawks, as they are about at 12. Mercyhurst just under that 12 mark at 11.6. The assist to turnover ratio was a 1.6 for Mercyhurst. And the points off turnover, 17.8 points off of the turnover, something they'd like to capitalize on here tonight if they want to have a chance to win this one here in Millett Hall and pull off the upset. Now let's talk about these players for Mercyhurst, and let's introduce some of those guys for you. The first guy you're going to hear a lot of tonight is the Bernie Blunt III. He's averaging 17.8 points per game, 2.8 rebounds, and 3 assists per game, and 1 steal per game. Pure score for him. He's shooting 34.3% from the three-point line as well. 76% from the free throw line, and 43% from the field. Bernie Blunt Jr., a guy who is always looking to score for this Mercyhurst Lakers team, and that's what you got to expect tonight. Who's ever guarding Blunt needs to just be on lockdown, because they've got a big job, a big task at hand. Well, we'll move on to Jake Limmelman, who is averaging 12.2 points per game, 31% from the three-point line, 49% from the field, and 2 rebounds per game, as well as an assist. This team's got some scores, and Jake Limmelman is one of those scorers, as he's almost averaging 13 points per game. Now, excuse me if I butcher this name, but Mikolos Ivanoskis is averaging 9.6 points per game, just shy of 10 points per game, shooting 25% from the three-point line as well. He's averaging 20 minutes per game. It's the first two guys that we talked about, Blunt and Limmelman, averaging 28 minutes per game both. Those guys getting a ton of minutes for this Lakers team. We'll continue to move on, as Quitter Martin as well will be the next leading scorer for this team, as he's averaging 7.6 points per game. He's been a really good defender, but he's also shooting the ball at a really good rate, as he's shooting 55% from the field. A guy who's knocking down shots when it matters most. He's shooting 33% from the three-point line and averaging 29 minutes per game. A guy who you won't see off the court much tonight as well. Cameron Johnson is averaging 4.4 points per game, so the drop-off's kind of there as well. Averaging 6.8 points per game. Looking at the wrong thing. It's my apologies, but he's averaging 4.4 rebounds per game, rather. So solid numbers for him. He's shooting 55% from the field as well, a really good number, and 50% from the three, but only attempted 6. So shooting really not much of his thing as well as Martin as well. Both those guys really don't shoot the three-pointer much, but when they do, they can knock it down, and they've expressed that this season. So those are your starters for Mercyhurst, guys who you expect to contribute a lot tonight as well. But we can jump in and talk about some key matches that could swing tonight's game. Let's first talk about Miami's backcourt versus Mercyhurst perimeter defenses. Lakers gives up nearly 20 free throws per game, which tells you they can get handsy, and Miami's guards are aggressive downhill. You guys like Evan Epsaro, Peter Suter, who won't play now, Luke Skaljak, though, continue to play under control. Miami can get to the line a lot tonight and build separation early. That's what you want to see, is to see if they can just get some contact going and get some free points. That's why they're called free throws. Second, the three-point line. Miami is shooting a ridiculous 48% from the three, while Mercyhurst just shoots 30% and allows opponents to shoot in the high 30s. That's a major advantage for the RedHawks that they'd like to exploit in this one. If Miami can get clean looks, this game can tilt fast, and we're going to be maybe talking about at halftime how this RedHawks team is up by so much, and it could be just because of the three-point line. And lastly, the turnover battle. Mercyhurst averages 11.6 turnovers a game, but Miami is scoring 24 points a night off turnovers. That's an insane conversion rate, and if that continues, the RedHawks can dictate pace and turn defense into offense just like they'd like. Some early signs for the RedHawks, though, as we move on. One thing that stood out earlier this season is how connected this Miami team looks. They look like a real team. This chemistry feels sharper than it did at this same time last year when we were covering this team. And credit needs to go to the coaching staff for lightening rotations and establishing clear roles early. You know, guys know their roles, and that's super important and something that you can easily struggle with early on in a college basketball season. Coach Steele has talked a lot about valuing possessions, defending without fouling, and making the extra pass. And honestly, through 3 games, Miami's checked all of those boxes. This group looks disciplined in ways that don't always show up in the box score. Things like rotations, help side communication, and guys sprinting the floor, open driving lanes. Guys like Evan Epsaro just getting on the floor for loose balls and just really getting gritty and doing anything for this basketball team. While it's still early in the season, these are the kinds of games that matter when you're projected to compete at the top of the MAC and win the MAC and ultimately be in March Madness. Games where you're favored, games where you're supposed to take care of business, games where you're at home. How a team handles these nights tells you a lot about their maturity and their ceiling. So this game's huge. You can't look past games like these, you know, just because it's a Thursday night game and they're not playing in the MAC yet and they're playing a Mercyhurst team that's got 2 losses, one of them being where they didn't even score 50 points. You can't overlook teams like this, especially now with a guy like Peter Suter who's out. There's some serious opportunities, though, for this team and players. This is also a chance for some bench guys to keep carving out roles. Players like Kyle Waltz, Tyler Robbins, Trey Perry. They don't need to score 20, but they do need to bring energy and defend and make the right reads. Depth wins in February and March, and these reps matter. This team has so much depth. Continue to exploit that and show teams how much depth you've got. You know, get to 11 guys off the bench, and it's a real advantage. Guys are going to be fresh legs at all times. So while this isn't a conference game, it's an opportunity for Miami to keep building that identity that can carry into MAC play. Just about 4 minutes away from tip-off, so I'm going to kick it to the guys leading kickoff here in Andrew Relvas and Jake Zirolli. But as we talked about earlier, the RedHawks are larger favorites in this game, but of course you can't write off this Mercyhurst team who has shown at times that they can hang around with just about anyone. They have shot the ball so well to start out the season. That is credited to the ball movement they have displayed. They must continue to spread the wealth and get off good shots, and I can confidently say if they can do that, we will be talking about the RedHawks and how they are 4-0 later tonight in the post-game show. Miami looking to stay undefeated. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Red Hawk Radio pregame show. I'll be back with you at halftime to break down the first half. Don't go anywhere, because when we come back, it's tip-off here in Millett Hall. Andrew Relvas and Jake Zirolli will be on the call. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Red Hawk Radio pregame show.
Good evening and welcome inside Millett Hall for tonight's men's basketball game. You're listening to Miami men's basketball on RedHawk Radio. My name is Andrew Relvas, joined alongside Jake Zirolli for what should be an exciting matchup here on Thursday night. Last time we saw the RedHawks here at home, they won by 80, putting up the second most points in Millett Hall history, and tonight they will hope to keep the offense rolling against the Mercyhurst Lakers from the NEC. Now, Jake, the RedHawks obviously off to a hot start, but trying to keep it up inside Millett Hall tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not so sure they'll win by 80 again. You know, that was a pretty lopsided scoreline, but this team looks good. It was a real good win on the road at Air Force. Air Force isn't exactly known for its basketball program, but that is still not an easy place to play, with a high-flying Mountain West offense. And Miami got the win there, a 76-61 victory over the Falcons. And it's really encouraging because going into this game, Mercyhurst is no pushover either. They were bet on to finish fourth in the NEC, which is a conference that their auto bids to the NCAA tournament usually put up a pretty solid fight. And while Mercyhurst cannot claim one of those since they're only newly D1, this being their second season at the Division I level, this is still going to be a tough test for the RedHawks and hopefully a way to get to 4-0 for Travis Steele's men.
We'll pause for the national anthem as we will announce starters and much more in just a little bit. Stay with us. You're listening to Miami men's basketball on RedHawk Radio. Welcome back inside Millett Hall. Starters have been announced for both sides. First for Gary Manchel's Mercyhurst Lakers. It is the typical starting five that's been here all year long, with Christian Gamble leading off, along with Jake Lemmelman, the pair of guards. At the forward spot, it's Kadir Martin. Bernie Blunt, the lead guard and one of the conference's highly anticipated players. He's starting tonight. And finally, rounding out the Mercyhurst side, it is Mikolas Ivanauskas at the 5 spot for the Lakers. And meanwhile, for the Miami RedHawks, a little bit of a surprise tonight. We have no Peter Suter, as he was in street clothes during warm-up. So now the RedHawks will rely on Luke Skaljak to make his first start of the season. Brant Byers, Evan Psarro, Antoine Woolfolk, and Ian Elmer are the other starters. A little bit of a surprise, Jake, but the RedHawks should be fine. They have a lot of depth against Mercyhurst tonight.
Yeah, they really do. And Skaljak had a good game last week, having 10 points and 2 assists on almost 58% shooting from the field. So he is prepared to take this jump. This jump from his freshman year to his sophomore year has really been tangible. You can see it. He's more confident. He's taking better shots. And that just comes from maturing as a player. And the loss of Peter Suter for tonight, that's a big one. You know, he's a senior leader of this team. He's one of the keystones of this offense. But I think Skowjak's going to be able to step in and do his part to get this win for the RedHawks.
Last game for Skowjak in double figures, 10-2-2. Of course, Coach Steele talked about how much better he is defensively. Same with Evan Upsaro, a guy who's really taken a big leap scoring-wise. 12-1-4 for him overall in the season, and he's looking to keep that coming in to tonight's game. Of course, the RedHawks and the Lakers have never met before, as Mercyhurst, this is their second year in D1, so this is the first matchup between Mercyhurst and Miami, and it should be interesting here tonight.
Yeah, it should be a good game. As I said earlier, this Mercyhurst team, they're no joke. You know, they are just newly D1. They can't play in any postseason tournament until the 28-29 season, but that is not going to stop them from coming out here and competing. This is a team that can make a run in the NEC playoffs. I think they will make some noise in that Northeastern Conference, which this year looks a little bit weaker as it has in past years. There's no one clear favorite, as there sometimes is in these group of 5 conferences. So Mercyhurst looking to make some noise, and they would certainly ruffle some feathers with a win here in Oxford.
Yeah, we will certainly see about these two teams. Last game for Miami, of course, a big win on the road at Air Force in Colorado. 76-61 victory on the road. Saw 3 players in double figures. They shot 13 for 31 from deep. That's 42%. And they out-rebounded the Falcons 41-31. So overall, a good victory on the road against the Mountain West team in Colorado. Tough place to play with the elevation.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And one guy we haven't talked about yet is Brant Byers, the leading scorer. 18 points and 5 rebounds last game on just 35% shooting as well. So it probably wasn't even his best game from the outside shot, but he was still able to create those opportunities for himself, get himself to 18. This season, he's averaging 16, 5, and 1 on almost 50% shooting from the field. This is his season, his team, and we are all just watching it. This guy is special. He really is 6'8", 200 pounds, a pretty big guard, the sophomore from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. And he's playing his role in this team really well. Tonight, this is a bit of a shorter starting 5, so Byers going to need to play that role rebounding.
For Mercyhurst, last game, a 86-72 win over Morgan State. A few days ago, you saw 5 players in double figures, and they'll look to keep that momentum coming into tonight. It's the cradle of the coaches game tonight. The RedHawks are wearing their white jerseys instead of the blacks that the football team wore last week. So it'll be Miami script across the chest with the red and white shorts and the red numbering under the Miami. For Mercyhurst, the green jerseys with Mercyhurst across the chest and the green shorts were underway. Miami wins the tip, and the RedHawks will move it from left to right. And we got a clock malfunction, so that'll pause everything here. So no Peter Suter tonight, but like we already talked out a little bit, the RedHawks should be good. They have a lot of depth at that guard position. Pretty solid crowd inside Millett Hall on Thursday evening, a couple days before the Thanksgiving break.
Well, midweek sports are no stranger to these MAC fans.
Absolutely, yep. Elmer on the inbound, and it's Evan Upsaro. RedHawks and the Lakers facing off for the first time. Skowjak down low. Elmer, righty left, off the glass and then rolls in. And the RedHawks take a quick 2-point lead over the Lakers in the first.
Really nice pass there across the court into the corner for Elmer. He did the hard work, got it to the paint.
Here's Jake Lemelman, the sophomore. Hands over to Bernie Blunt, an 18-point scorer. Up top, Mykolas Ivanauskas over to Kadir Martin on the right wing. Nice ball moving up top here for the Lakers. It's Lemelman directing traffic, kicking over Gamble on the right wing. Trying to shake Skowjak, hands over Lemelman, down the lane, falling away. Jumper off the rim, no. High rebound cleaned up by Woolfolk. RedHawks have numbers. In the corner, Byers thought about the three, kicks back up to Elmer on the right wing. Bouncer down low, Ipsaro down the lane, off the glass and in, no. And the rebound goes to Ivanauskis.
How did that one stay out, Andrew? I'm not sure.
Halfway home there, really good look from the RedHawks, and the Lakers can tie it. About a minute and a half into this one, Miami leads 2-0. Bernie Blunt in a trap, Elmer all over him, kicks in the corner, Ivanauskis for three, no, and the rebound is cleared by Byers. Back to the RedHawks, it's Evan Ipsaro on the right wing against Gamble. Sizing him up, over to Byers, Byers inside to Woolfolk. This pass is taken away by Gamble. And he's racing the other way. Here's Christian Gamble kicking in the corner. They give a back up top to, and it's taken back by Miami. Elmer loses the ball. Some sloppy basketball in the first half here between these two teams. Bernie Blunt had it, passed back to Gamble, out of bounds off of Miami, as Evan Ipsaro was right there, but last touched by him.
And maybe that's a good stoppage, because we just saw 3 straight turnovers there. Not the smartest pass from Brant Byers down there, then 2 steals at each end. Both teams need a minute to slow down and regroup.
Lakers reset up top. About 2 minutes in, 2-0 Miami lead. Bernie Blunt, free throw jumper, nice defense by Elmer, and the rebound is cleared by Ipsaro. Ipsaro kicks back up top, here's Byers, over to Skowjak, top of the key. Skowjak over to Woolfolk on the high block against Ivanauskis. Woolfolk kick in the corner, Skowjak for three, it's good! Miami leads 5-0 off of Skowjak, hitting a three-pointer.
Really nice play there from Woolfolk to claim that pass into the paint. Needed to reach up and get it against Ivanauskis, who is no small guy.
First three-pointer of the evening for the RedHawks, and it was cleared by Skowjak. Here's Gamble, a straightaway three, a risky gamble, and it works, and it's 5-3 Miami over Mercyhurst. Ian Elmer inside to Woolfolk. Beautiful feed, but it's blocked by the Lakers. Kadir Martin blocks it, and here come the Lakers the other way. Downhill, Gamble lost his footing. Back up top to Lemelman on the right wing. Nearing the media timeout. Bernie Blunt inside to Ivanauskis. 2-on-1, Ivanauskis wanted the foul. Ball is loose, and it was last touched by Ipsaro.
Ipsaro's done well there to strip that ball. Ivanauskis is holding it low, and that's what happens when a big guy is holding it low in the paint. It's going to get stripped from him, and he can call for the foul there, but that's all ball. Thankfully for Mercyhurst, they retain possession.
Now we see Almar Atlason come in. Guard against Ivanauskis. Up top, over the top. This pass goes to Gamble as he circles back on the Mercyhurst timeline. Gamble in the right side. It is Johnson, a three-pointer, but a foul is called on Miami under the basket. Loose ball foul on Elmer.
That's going to be Skowjak there on the foul, actually.
Or Skowjak.
Looked like just got a little bit too physical with Ivanauskis down there. Him and Elmer are doing their best to defend the 6'8" sophomore from Chicago.
Mercyhurst basketball, 5-3 game, 16:30 left to go in the first. It's Lemelman in the corner, bouncing inside, going for Gamble. As those two miscommunicated, this will be a backcourt, and the RedHawks will get it right back. Couple of missed passes there early on, searching for Gamble, and it's back to Miami.
Just a little bit of a wayward pass there. A little bit of double coverage got in his face.
5-3 is our score. Here's Ipsaro down the lane, righty layup off the glass and in, and the RedHawks lead 7-3, 16 minutes left to go in the first.
You can't leave a hole that big open for Evan Ipsaro. He just went right down the lane. Easy right-handed layup on the left side.
Jake Lemelman, right side. Christian Gamble against Byers on the right elbow. Circling around, now pivots on the left side. Lefty layup, great defense by Byers, and the RedHawks clear it. Trey Perry controlling, over to Byers. Here's Elmer in the corner, and a foul going against Miami the other way. And that'll take us into immediate timeout.
Good.
Well, they're going to say it's a turnover on Ian Elmer.
Yeah, they said he stepped out of bounds, yeah.
So with that, we'll take a break. 15:50 left to go. Miami leads 7-3 over Mercyhurst, and we'll be back in a moment inside Millett Hall. Stay with us. 15:50 left to go in the first, and the RedHawks leading 7-3 as they try and take advantage of a Mercyhurst team that already has an upset on the season. They upset Loyola Chicago 73-65 a few weeks ago. This will be another big upset on the road for them. 4-point deficit for the Lakers. Up top, Mykolas Ivanauskas. Over to Deshaun Jackson. Here's a straightaway three-pointer, and it's good for the Lakers.
It's Caden Furman on the deep shot. You can't leave him that open. He's shooting pretty well this season.
7-6 is our score. 15:30 left to go. There's Almar Atlason, and we got a foul down low. This is going to be on Deshaun Jackson. Overall, Mercyhurst shooting 2 for 7 in the first half so far. Miami 3 for 5. It'll be Evan Upsaro on the near baseline. Inbound to Atlason, back to Upsaro. Upsaro over to Byers. Left wing three. It's good. And Miami leads 10-6 here in the first.
Really nice there from Upsaro to soak up the pressure on the paint, leaving Byers wide open on the wing, and that was an easy three for him.
10-6 is our score. RedHawks up by 4. Racing down the lane. Here's Deshaun Jackson. Lefty layup. No. Second chance point. Nice defense by Perry. Third opportunity. No again. This rim has a lid on it for the Lakers, as 3 Lakers were right there. Phenomenal defense by Miami up front.
They did the real hard work getting those offensive rebounds. That ball did not want to go in. Just cruel for the Lakers there, but good thing for Miami. Playing some bit of shoddy post defense here if they got away with it.
See Kyle Waltz back in. Downhill, here's Furman. Over to Ivanauskas. Ivanauskas against Atlason. Here's a right wing three from Furman again, and the rebound goes back to the Lakers. Picked back up by Cameron Johnson. And the reset with Deshaun Jackson upstairs. Downhill, Ivanauskas over the top of Atlason, a righty layup, and it's 10-8.
It's a nice take there from Ivanauskas.
14.5 left to go in the first. Here's Luke Skowjak down the lane, trying to create some space. Lost his dribble, kicks in the right side. It's Byers for 3, and he hits it again. His second three-pointer of the night, and it's 13-8 Miami.
I mean, Byers really does have a real smooth shooting form. If you leave him open right there, he's knocking that down.
5-point lead for the RedHawks as they try and build it here. Caden Furman lost it, and they cycle back on the right side. Jake Lemelman, left wing three, and he got it. Back-to-back three-pointers for the Lakers. It's 13-11 as both sides are now trading three-pointers.
Starting to light up from deep.
Atlason, far corner three, and he sinks it. Atlason sinks Miami's 4th three-pointer, and the RedHawks lead 16-11 in the first.
He is shooting almost 70% from the field this season, so not surprising that Atlason was able to go in that corner and bang that three.
The RedHawks hit 21 three-pointers last time they were home against Trinity Christian, and already hitting 4 in the first half. Deshaun Jackson over to Caden Furman. Nice defense by Byers. Furman trying to get around Byers. Right elbow jumper, no. This was blocked out of bounds, but last touch by Furman, and it'll be Miami basketball. So nice defense there by Byers, who can do it all both ways. Great defender, great offensive player, and it'll be Miami basketball moving it from left to right. RedHawks overall 6 for 8 from the floor and 4 for 4 from deep, trying to keep it up. Down low, here's Ian Elmer, and we got a foul on Mercyhurst. This will be on Cameron Johnson. Second foul on the night for the Lakers.
Miami's got Atlason and Wolfhook both in the game right now. They're putting an emphasis on getting boards after that rebounding disaster on the other end.
Upsaro feeding up top to Atlason. Got a mismatch here against Blunt. Back over Atlason, then they kick up top to Evan Upsaro near half court. Upsaro trying to get around a screen, kicking over to Skowjak down low. Here's Wolfhook, lost the basketball, but it was last touched by a Laker. Looked like it was off of Martin.
Once again, a big man leaving it low in the paint. It's going to get poked out.
Skowjak on the baseline has Atlason. Thought about the three, kicks over to Elmer. Elmer down the lane, up and under. He was fouled on his way up, and he'll get some free throws.
It's going to be Johnson again. That'll be his second in just a few minutes.
Cameron Johnson in the last game, 10-6-1, so he was valuable in that Morgan State win. Already two quick ones, so take a seat.
They cannot afford him to get in real foul trouble.
Looks like he's going to stay in, and here's Elmer at the line. And he misses the first one on the left side. Well, Elmer this year averaging 8, 7, and 1 block. Really the big difference from last year is the rebounding. He's gotten a lot better defensively and on the boards. Makes the second free throw, splits the pair, and it's 17-11 Miami. 12:30 left to go in the first. Working around up top, James Thomas had it. They kick over to Christian Gamble. Over the top, Thomas, right-handed layup, no, and the rebound goes back to Apsaro. Nice defensive stop there for the red and white. There's Almar Atlason. Over the top, trying to go for the dunk, will take the finger roll layup, and Miami leads 19-11 here in the first.
It's well done there by Wolfhook. There were bodies in the paint there. He's able to get around him. He was definitely going for that dunk, but he will take the 2 points nonetheless.
Gamble over to Blunt. Get back over to Kadir Martin. Martin against Skowjak, back up top, Furman, and they give back over to Bernie Blunt. Rather, this is Christian Gamble circling around, handing back over to Furman. Deep three on the right side. No, the rebound nearly back to Atlason, but it's tipped back by Thomas. Down low to Thomas, righty layup coming in very quickly off the glass and in, and it's 19-13.
Mercyhurst is hanging in here. Miami's got to start getting these rebounds. That's why they brought on Atlason and Wolfhook at the same time. It's got to pay off for him.
Skowjak over to Elmer in the corner, and he stepped out of bounds again. Second turnover in the same spot for Elmer, and that'll take us into immediate timeout.
He might just need a minute. Steele might sit him down for a minute, get somebody else in, let him clear his head, maybe find a different spot than that corner because it's not treating him so well right now.
Take a break with Miami leading 19-13 at about the halfway point in the first period. You're listening to Miami men's basketball on Red Hawk Radio. $11-12 left to go in the first half. Andrew Relvas alongside Jake Zirolli. And Jake, so far, the RedHawks up by 6, but a little bit sloppy in the first half so far.
I don't feel too confident about this game. Mercyhurst is staying in it. They're getting rebounds. They're being scrappy. That's what Miami needs to get back to.
Kadir Martin on the left block. Hands back up top to Bernie Blunt. Over to Gamble. Back to Martin on the left wing. Thought about a three. Hands back up top to Gamble, working around Elmer. Trying to separate. Go over on the right side to Furman, back up top to Gamble. Shot clock winding down. Gamble tries a three. rolls halfway home, in and out, and the rebound is taken back by Elmer. Fast break opportunity. Here's Ipsaro. This will be a blocking foul on Mercyhurst as he put up a shot. That'll be on Kadir Martin. So nice work by Elmer to tap it to Ipsaro, who sprinted down the court very quickly, and he's rewarded with a few free throws.
Looks like Gamble might be a little shaken up after that one. Looks like he's about to come off.
Realist foul on Gamble, actually, as Martin was right there. Pissarro makes the first one. Pissarro on the year, a 75% free throw shooter.
Big substitution there for Mercyhurst. The only one who remains is Bernie Blunt.
And the second free throw is good for Pissarro, and Miami leads 21-13 in the first. Jake Lemmelman up top, giving it over to Bernie Blunt, trying to get a screen, hands over to Cameron Johnson. Johnson on the right wing inside Bernie Blunt, over the top, falling down off the glass and in, a high layup, and it's 21-15, 10-17 left to go in the first.
Really nice backdoor cut from Blunt.
6-point lead for the RedHawks as they work it around. Skowjak in the corner, kicking over Elmer. In the corner, Byers for three. Missed off the left side. Elmer came flying in, and this will be a foul on Mercyhurst. Looks like this is going to be an offensive foul. They're going the other way here. So it'll be an offensive foul on the RedHawks, Ian Elmer, and it'll be Mercyhurst basketball. There's Lemmelman over to Ivanauskas. We now see Tyler Robbins coming in. Big matchup to watch. Inside Cameron Johnson, kick in the corner. Ivanauskas for three. Missed off the front rim, and it's back to the Lakers. Big board by Blunt. Right elbow jumper from Johnson. No, but we got a foul going the other way on Mercyhurst.
It's going to be Ivanauskas, a little bit of hit in the back there on Byers, trying to get that rebound.
Fifth foul already on Mercyhurst to Miami's 2. So if this keeps up, Miami can be shooting some free throws at the bottom of this first period. Skowjak over to Byers near the free throw line, back up top on the right wing to Skowjak. Over to Elmer, left side. Hands over Robbins on the high block, back to Skowjak. RedHawks working it inside, lefty layup, no from Skowjak, but a big board by Elmer. The RedHawks have a fresh 20 in the corner, searching for Byers, somehow keeps it in bounds. Everything's pinballing around as Mercyhurst intercepted it. It was Deshaun Jackson, but he was fouled in the air by Skowjak.
Yeah, going up for those jump balls is difficult, and coming down with them without contact is even more difficult. And Skowjak did all he could there. I think he's okay with that foul.
A little bit of a chaotic possession there for Miami, and the Lakers will have it right back. 6-point lead for Miami, but trying to pull ahead against a pesky Mercyhurst team. Downhill, Furman has Lemmelman on the left side, charging inside, free throw jumper, and it rolls a million times in, and Lemmelman makes the shot. 21-17 in the first.
Mercyhurst is not going away, Andrew. Miami's got to oil it and get themselves going here.
Miami's been scoreless for 2 minutes. Trey Perry on the right wing, driving inside, kicking back out to Elmer. Top of the key. Brant Byers over to Tyler Robbins. Right side to Evan Ipsaro. Ipsaro was fouled. This will be on Deshaun Jackson. He's fouled near the top of the key. Stops it at 8:23 in the first. One more foul for the bonus, as that was the second on Deshaun Jackson. So 2 on Cameron Johnson and 2 on Deshaun Jackson. Those are the notable ones to look out for. Here's Evan Ipsaro upstairs. Ipsaro getting around everybody. Lefty layup down the lane, and it's 23-17 Miami over Mercyhurst.
Really nice screen there from Tyler Robbins on Christian Gamble. That opened up the lane there for Ipsaro.
8 minutes left to go in this first half. Jake Lemmelman goes over Gamble, back to Lemmelman, top of the key. Against Byers, quick move, and Lemmelman was fouled. This will be on Byers.
Looks like he came down on his foot maybe, going up for that block. Byers at 6'8". He's got no trouble getting up there to block those shots, but looks like he might have gotten a little too close on his landing pad there.
Miami leads 23-17 with 7:50 left to go in the first, and we'll take immediate timeout inside Millett Hall. The RedHawks trying to get away from Mercyhurst, but they're not going away. Stay with us. You're listening to Miami men's basketball on Red Hawk Radio. $7:50 left to go in the first half as the RedHawks are up 23-17 over the Lakers. And now we will see Jake Lemmelman at the line for the first time tonight. And Lemmelman makes the first free throw, averaging 12, 2, and 2 in his second year at Mercyhurst.
He's been very productive for them. He had 18 for him in that win at Morgan State.
And the second free throw for him is good, and it is 19-23, 4-point lead for the RedHawks. Their largest lead was 8. Evan Upsaro over to Trey Perry, left side, as he works around Kadir Martin. Near half court, back to Evan Upsaro. RedHawks up by 4, right wing 3, Trey Perry rolls off, and the rebound is cleared by Ivanauskas.
Got to have guys there for the rebound. There was nobody to contest that rebound, even though Atlason and Wolfuk, two of our tallest forwards, are both on the floor. Got to get down there in the paint.
Good look from 3, but doesn't fall for the RedHawks, shooting 4 for 6. Mykolas Ivanauskas against Antoine Wolfuk. Kick in the corner. Here's Furman for 3 on the far side. No, the rebound goes back to Martin. Back over Ivanauskas. A little Euro step. No, and the rebound is picked up by Wolfuk.
Wolfuk done well there to win that jump ball. Actually make it not a jump ball at all.
Atlason left wing 3, no, and the rebound goes back to Mercyhurst. They're out rebounding Miami 13-9 so far, but it's felt like a lot more.
That's because on the offensive boards, Mercyhurst up 8-1. That is unacceptable for this program to have two guys on the floor who are 6'8" and above, and we're not getting those rebounds. Got to get the boards.
Martin, right wing 3, and the rebound goes back to Atlason. See if the RedHawks can get something going offensively. Trey Perry orchestrating the offense, waving a few RedHawks off. Going on the left side, back to Upsaro. Pissarro downhill under the basket, kicks over Almar Atlason inside, off the glass and in, count it and one. Send the big man to the free throw line. Miami leads 25-19. The three-point play coming up.
Really nice there from Atlason, the junior from Reykjavik, Iceland. A Bradley transfer actually before this year out of the Missouri Valley Conference. Really nice there from Pissarro as well to drive the lane, get down the baseline, and find that around his side. And suffice it to say, Mercyhurst head coach Gary Manchel is not happy.
Foul on Mykolas Ivanauskas as Atlason makes the three-point play, and the RedHawks are up by 7. 26-19, 6:10 left to go in the first. So far, Mercyhurst has gone punch for punch with the RedHawks. Bernie Blunt over to Christian Gamble, lost his dribble, gives over to Caden Furman, and this will be a travel. Travel on Furman as he went right into the chest of Kyle Waltz.
He just couldn't gather himself there before making that move. That'll happen sometimes when your mind's a step ahead of your feet.
That's the 4th turnover on Mercyhurst. Now it goes back to Miami. Under 6 left to play, the RedHawks up by 7. Trying to get this offense rolling into the halftime break. Here's Antoine Woolfolk against Thomas. Woolfolk inside, righty floater is good. The RedHawks lead 28-19, and that'll be a quick Mercyhurst timeout. Really nice move there from Woolfolk to kind of maneuver off of James Thomas. Pushed him to the ground, actually, and RedHawks lead by the most tonight. 9-point lead.
Looked like Thomas was looking for a foul down there. Woolfolk known for his physicality, and it's not hard to see why. Woolfolk got a big frame, 6'9", 245. He is taller and bigger than Thomas, and he showed it right there with that display of physical strength.
7 fouls on Mercyhurst. You got 2 on Jackson, 2 on Johnson, and then 2 on Ivanauskas. So, sir, 3 key players to keep an eye on only 4 for Miami.
Miami's got to get on the right side of this turnover battle. They're still down 5-4.
You got 5:42 left to go. Still plenty of time to push that momentum pendulum your side. 9-point lead for the RedHawks, 28-19. Here's James Thomas over to Bernie Blunt. Back to Thomas. He tries and maneuver around Antoine Woolfolk. Over to Bernie Blunt inside, out of bounds off of Mercyhurst. It was last touched by Martin as he was trying to hand off to Furman in the near corner.
Just a miscommunication there. Mercyhurst looking at each other saying, did you do that? Did I do that? They're not sure. The referees are. It'll be RedHawk basketball.
RedHawks can push this up to double digits if they make a basket here. 5:16 left to go, 28-19, Miami over Mercyhurst. Woolfolk inside has Atlason off the glass and in, counted and one again for Almar Atlason. The Icelander makes a big play, and the RedHawks lead 30-19. Send the big man to the free throw line.
And James Thomas is shaking up there. Atlason with a really nice pump fake sent Thomas flying, and he took a minute to get up there. He'll hobble off to the sideline. We'll see the return of Kadir Martin and Cameron Johnson both coming on.
So another big play there from Atlason, who leads all scorers now with 8 points. He'll make it 9 with the free throw, and he has it. Miami leads by 12, 31-19 in the first. 5 minutes left to go. Kadir Martin up top, over to Cameron Johnson on the left wing, and we got a foul. This looks like it's going to be on Evan Pissarro.
Just got a little handsy trying to get around that screen there. Couldn't tell whether it was Bernie Blunt or the screener Kadir Martin that he hit, but he hit somebody.
On the inbound, back up top, Lemelman. Over to Deshaun Jackson. Jackson against Waltz. Over to Cameron Johnson. Thought about a 3, drives inside, puts up a shot. This will be a travel. Sixth turnover on Mercyhurst, and the RedHawks get another big stop.
Cameron Johnson trying to come to a quick jump stop and fire off a short jumper. Took one step too many, right in front of the eye of the watchful referee. Blew his whistle. It's going the other way.
RedHawks up by 12, but looking to keep this momentum rolling. Kyle Waltz over to Almar Atlason near midcourt. Atlason trying to keep it close with Woolfolk, will keep it himself. Gives up top Trey Perry. Shot clock at 15. Here's Trey Perry driving down low. Almar Atlason, righty layup, no. Rebound battled for, and it's picked back up by Deshaun Jackson of Mercyhurst.
Atlason had more space to go in there. He tried the floater instead, just came up short.
Up and under Jackson, no. The rebound back to Martin. And it's tapped back to Lemelman.
Another offensive rebound for Mercyhurst. That is 9 for them. Miami is getting out-rebounded, which rarely ever happens to a Travis Steele-led team.
Left wing three, Blunt, and it's in. Comes up with a 4-point play. Bernie Blunt drew a ton of contact, and Bernie Blunt will go to the line.
Trey Perry just got a little too close there. Perry just 6'2", trying to block. The 5'11" Bernie Blunt just jumped a little too close. Again, that landing spot. That's what's important. Brant Byers got called for the same thing. They got away with a miss there, but here, Blunt has got a chance to make this a 4-point play.
Blunt up to 5 points, can make it 6 with the free throw. Overall, a 93% free throw shooter last year, and he misses the free throw. Big miss. Miami up 31-22. They can push it to double digits again. Brant Byers over to Antoine Woolfolk upstairs. They kick in the corner. Brant Byers driving inside, draws a ton of contact, falls to the floor, and he'll have free throws. Another foul down low on the Lakers. This will be on Ivan Oskis, and that'll be his third. And with that, we will head into immediate timeout. Miami leads by 9, trying to keep this pressure rolling against Mercyhurst. Stay with us on Red Hawk Radio. Welcome back inside Millett Hall. Andrew Relvas alongside Jake Zirolli. As a reminder, we got the Red Hawk Radio halftime show coming up with Gavin Stark, so stay tuned for that. So far, Miami up 31-22. They've got free throws coming, but the big story in this one is they're getting out-rebounded offensively 9-1. So a lot more offensive chances for Mercyhurst, and that's what's really kept them in the game so far. And here's Brant Byers at the line, and he makes the first free throw. Overall, Miami shooting 6 for 7 at the free throw line. Byers, an 89% free throw shooter on the year, makes them both, and it's 33-22 RedHawks.
Miami's got to make those free throws as Mercyhurst gets into more and more foul trouble. They've already got 9 this half.
Lemelman over to Martin on the right wing, gives over Johnson. Short side to Jackson, free throw jumper, no, and the rebound's cleared by Byers.
Bit of a questionable shot there, fading away free throw jumper when you got your big man down low. Kadir Martin was there, decided to take the fade away.
Inside, Antoine Woolfolk can't get the friendly roll. The rebound bounces around and it finds Bernie Blunt.
How did that one? I mean, there must be lids on these rims, Andrew. There have just been so many of those on both ends. How are they staying out? We don't know.
Another Mercyhurst possession. Up top, Jake Lemelman. Shot clock at 10. Hands over to Jackson. Back to Lemelman, rolling around. They go over to Kadir Martin. Martin over to Johnson. Shot clock winding down. Got to put up a shot. Kick up top. Martin for three straight away. This will be rolled off, and the RedHawks force a shot clock turnover. Nicely done defensively by the red and white.
Mercyhurst has moved the ball really well today. You know, the focus in this game, keeping them in it, keeping it to just an 11-point deficit, has of course been the offensive rebounding. But the ball movement needs to be talked about as well. Mercyhurst is moving the ball real well. I think they might have just gotten a little too caught up in it there.
RedHawks lead 33-22 downhill. Epsaro near the baseline, feeds up top to Brant Byers, and he's blocked in transition. Robbins had the rebound, but it's poked away by the Lakers. Fast break opportunity to Sean Jackson, gives over Cameron Johnson, blocked by Robbins, but Martin is there to clean it up for two. It's 33-24.
Yet another offensive rebound for Mercyhurst. This can't keep going on like this for Miami.
Here's Tyler Robbins inside, and he has a nice big man finish inside the paint, off the window and in, and the RedHawks lead 35-24 with 2 minutes left in the first.
He's Miami's biggest guy, and he's using his size there, 6'10", 245, using his physicality to get that bucket there through three coverages.
Biggest lead of the night for the RedHawks, 12. Here is Jake Lemelman on the left side, left wing three-pointer, and he sinks it. The third three-pointer, or excuse me, the fifth three-pointer of the half for Mercyhurst, and it's 35-27.
They're shooting almost 40% from three this half. Lemelman always been a good shooter. Last game he was 60% from the field on the season, just short of 50.
Elmer wide open for three, can't make it, but the rebound goes back to Robbins. Here's Ipsaro back to Elmer, far corner three, halfway home, and we got a foul. This will be on Skaljak. He is not happy about that. This will be the third foul on Skaljak, and that'll bring him to the bench, and now we see Trey Perry coming back in.
Coach Steele is not happy with him either. With the absence of Peter Suter, he needs his guards to stay out of foul trouble. Skaljak already with three, not a good sign at all.
Fortunately enough, though, only RedHawk with multiple fouls is Skaljak. 3 on him, the rest have 1. 7 team fouls on Miami, 9 on Mercyhurst.
Perry, Byers, Ipsaro, and Elmer all with 1. All guards. Again, the guards are in foul trouble here. Steele's got to have some decisions to make on his bench.
And it'll be Bernie Blunt shooting free throws. Blunt coming into this year was the 2025 NEC preseason first team player. So he's the guy to watch. 4 straight games with double figures as Blunt makes the first one.
Originally at Quinnipiac at the start of his career, then went to play at a JUCO Edinburgh, and is now at Mercyhurst.
Second free throw from him is good, and it's 35-29. And before Quinnipiac, he was at Harcum, which is a junior college in Pennsylvania. So he's been now at 4 schools. Quite a journey for Bernie Blunt. 67 seconds left to go in the first half. The RedHawks up by 6. Antoine Woolfolk, high pass over to Evan Ipsaro, racing inside, lost the basketball, and this will stay with Miami. Last
Bernie
touch by
Blunt with good hands there to poke it away.
So 58.7 seconds left to go for the RedHawks. Up by 6. On the baseline, Ipsaro over to Byers and back to Perry. Perry on the right wing. Looking for a screen, gives it over Woolfolk down low on the right block. Antoine Woolfolk, left elbow layup, no. And it was last touched by Evan Upsarl.
Miami bench certainly does not agree with that. They're making their case heard.
6-point lead for the RedHawks. It's been sloppy in this first half. Got to be better. Kadir Martin on the right side, over to Blunt, and back up top to Jashawn Jackson. Quickly over to Blunt, back over Cameron Johnson. Shot clock at single digits. Kadir Martin searching for open Lakers. Jake Lemelman, right wing three, missed off the front rim. Rebound is tapped around, bodies flying everywhere. Upsaro's there, and this will be a foul on Bernie Blunt. So it'll be Miami basketball with 12.2 left to go in the first.
Baseline official coming in and get involved in that jump ball. Looks like Blunt just got a little too physical there with Upsaro on the floor.
10th foul on Mercyhurst. First on Bernie Blunt, and with 12.2 seconds left to go, the RedHawks will be shooting free throws since they're in the bonus. And this is the guy you want to see, Evan Upsaro at the line. First free throw for him is good, and it's 36-29 Miami. RedHawks so far 8 for 9 from the free throw line. And the second free throw is good, and the RedHawks are up 37-29. 10 seconds left to go. Final possession is in the hands of the Mercyhurst Lakers. Shot clock is dark. Jake Lemelman on the right side. Hands over Furman, left wing three, no, and that'll end the first half with Miami leading by 8. They're ahead 37-29 over Mercyhurst. But this was a first half that was a little bit sloppy for the RedHawks, especially on the offensive boards, getting out-rebounded 10-2. So the RedHawks didn't have a ton of second chance opportunities, and they will head into the break trying to turn some things around against the Lakers.
They've got to be better in the paint, and I'm sure that is what Travis Steele is going to talk to him about. Getting those offensive rebounds, because Mercier's second chance points, they're just their second chance opportunities. They are winning the second chance point battle 9-0. So they need to get those offensive rebounds. It's not even that Mercyhurst are killing the offensive rebounding game. It's Miami need to get them too. They've only got 2 of them. And they need to improve down low. They've got the height. They've got the size. They just need the hustle now. And that's the third part of rebounding that you just need to have.
Good news for RedHawks fans is second half has been a lot better than the first half in most categories for Miami. Of course, Travis Steele talked about in his last press conference the poise from the bench in the second half, and that will likely be a big storyline coming into the break. Well, with that, we'll turn it over to Gavin Stark for the Red Hawk Radio halftime show, as he'll break everything down in this one, along with all the other games going on across the country. And with that, we will take a break. Stay with us. You're listening to Miami men's basketball on Red Hawk Radio.
Welcome back to Oxford for the Red Hawk Radio halftime show. At the break, Miami leads Mercyhurst 37-29. I'm Gavin Stark, and let's take a look at what we saw in the first 20 minutes. Miami started the game a little bit shaky, and it felt like they had never really got things completely rolling defensively or offensively. We'll talk about that. And they just never really got in a rhythm. Point blank, that's the story of this first half. Now they lead 37-29. That's just a tribute to how good this team really is, because we're talking about a bad first half and they're leading by 8 points over a Mercyhurst team who's already had upsets like against Loyola Chicago earlier in the season. So kind of impressive if you look at it in that way, but still very, very frustrating. Mercyhurst kept things competitive kind of by slowing down the tempo, but most importantly on the offensive boards, just continuing to out-rebound the RedHawks offensively especially. It just felt demoralizing for this team, and it's really kept the Lakers in this one. You know, it's not just second chance opportunities, it's almost like third or fourth chance opportunities on some possessions, and that's just unacceptable, especially for a Travis Steele-led team who's always looking to be the more physical team and really win the rebound ratio, but they had lost that one in the first half. Overall, it felt like a half where Miami was battling through some mistakes, and Mercyhurst just did enough to stay within reach, now only down 8. They're pretty ecstatic, if I had to guess, in that locker room right now. So they look like they have a chance to pull off an upset here in Millett Hall. RedHawks looking to fight that off and maybe just look a little bit better on the boards, a little bit less of the sloppy passes being made as well. And I think Miami can really run away with this one if they can do that. But, you know, it hasn't been all sunshine and rainbows, like I said. We'll look at the numbers here quickly for this team as well. You know, we'll start off with Miami, as they're shooting 50% from the field. That number looks really good, and they're also shooting 44% from the three-point line, 4 for 9 from the 3, 9 for 10 from the free throw line, and 7 personal fouls, 37 points, of course. I mean, you look at these offensive numbers, and it really isn't an issue at all. So it's clearly the rebounding numbers. It's just unexcusable. 20 rebounds for Mercyhurst compared to Miami's 14. Just something you didn't really expect. Obviously, Peter Suter's out, and that takes away one less body. You started off with a little bit of a smaller lineup, putting in Skowjak for Suter, but it shouldn't be anything like this at all. You should not be getting out-rebounded by this Mercyhurst team, and that's something they've got to just be more tentative too as we head into the second half. If you're looking to pull away with a victory here in Millett Hall, you got to crash these boards a lot more and be more physical. You've seen a couple physical plays down in the paint by Antoine Wolflork and Almar Allison, who has been really one of the stars of the first half, as he had 2 and 1 plays. Coming off the bench, he had 9 points. That's leading this team in the first half. We'll just talk about Almar Allison, actually. Let's go ahead and do that. 9 points, 3 for 5 from the field, 1 for 2 from the three-point line, 2 for 2 from the free throw line, and 2 rebounds on 9 minutes of play. Almar Allison is going to get some more playing time as we head into the second half, because he's been a real spark off the bench. He's been good all season, a lot of experiences last year playing at Bradley, transferred here from Miami. He's been a really, really good pickup for this Travis Steele-led team, and you're going to need him a lot as we head into the second half with his size and able to just stretch the floor as well and get the guys guarding the perimeter. He's done a really good job at doing both, as he scored from the three-point line and from the interior with some and ones, like I said. But you also got to talk about Evan Epsara, who has 8 points, 2 for 3 from the field, 4 for 4 from the free throw line, 2 rebounds and 3 assists on 17 minutes of play. You know, I talked about it in the pregame show, you know, just getting, you know, drawing fouls. These guys are handsy defenders on Mercyhurst. They get a lot of fouls. They get called for a lot, and that's been the case. Evan Epsara has gotten to the paint and drawn those fouls and done a great job doing that, nearing in on double digits once again in a game. He's averaging 12 points per game. He's almost at that already with the 8 points. Contributing, of course, with the rebounds and assists. That's just what he does. He's all over the place, and he's doing just that again. And Brant Byers, another guy who has just been the clear-out scorer for this Miami team early on in the season. He's got 8 points, 2 for 4 from the field, 2 for 3 from the three-point line, 2 for 2 from the free throw line, and 3 rebounds. You'd like to see him be a little bit more physical though. He's got these 3 rebounds, but none really from crashing the boards, more just things that have just bounced his way. I'd like to see Brant Byers use some more of his size within this second half. You got a smaller team in Miami. Byers 6'8", obviously not a real physical frame, but can still go up and get some rebounds. So I'd like to see him crash the board some more and really contribute on that end of things, with it, whether it be offensive rebounds or defensive rebounds. You need it. Luke Skaljak, 3 points, 1 for 2 from the field, 1 for 1 from the 3-point line, 2 assists. The real issue here, though, 3 personal fouls. The only guy for the RedHawks in over 1 personal foul in the first half. He's got 3. Some real issues as we head into the second half, as he's in some serious foul trouble. A guy who's contributed with 13 minutes of play, but going to be limited with the fouls that he's facing. So that's going to, face off to a guy in Trey Perry in the second half, who's probably going to be expected to get a lot more playing time. Might even start out the second half if they don't give it to Skaljak with the foul trouble. But that's still to be determined, obviously. He's got 0 points, but he was contributing with some minutes. In 10 minutes, he put up some good minutes, just contributing to some big turnovers for the defense and just getting some key stops for the defense as well. He's just brought a lot of energy throughout the season. Talked about that in the pregame show as well, and he's doing that once again, bringing the energy. Sometimes it's not a stat you see, but when you're watching the game, it's something that you really notice and can feel. This team really feels it as well. Tyler Robbins is a guy who played only 3 minutes in that first half, but I expect to see a lot more minutes out of him with the rebounding troubles that was displayed. Robinson's your biggest guy at 6'10", 245. He's only got 2 points, but 2 rebounds as well. I'd like for him to get those numbers up and get some playing time in this second half. He does have a block as well, only on 3 minutes. This is some serious contribution. 2 points, 2 rebounds, and a block in 3 minutes. That's some stuff that is a key for success, and I'd like to see him get some more playing time as well. Kyle Watts is another freshman who got some playing time in the first half. Didn't have any statistical contributions, but he did contribute 5 minutes, and there were 5 good minutes, some good energy as well. So him and Trey Perry didn't contribute statistically, but gave some solid minutes for this Travis Steele-led team. Looking for this team, of course, to just crash the boards. They're knocking down the shots, but they're not getting enough opportunities almost offensively. A lot of times spent down with the Mercyhurst offense because of these rebounds. They're extending their offensive possessions. Miami offensively, though, just needs to spread the rock a little bit better. Look for the open shots. And we're going to be looking for a recipe for success for this Miami-led team in the second half. They lead 37-29 right now. A lot of things to be cleaned up as we head into the second half here at Millett Hall. Some things going on around college basketball world. Not too many huge games, but there is one that has my attention right now, and that's that Memphis versus Purdue game, where Memphis actually leads now they're down. They were leading 64-63 literally moments ago, but now they're down 64-65 over number 1 Purdue, who's 4-0, and Memphis is just 1-2. Looking for an upset in Memphis. Will it happen? I don't know. Look out for that one, though, as there's a lot of buzz happening in Purdue right now. Bucknell and St. John's. St. John's leads that one 41-25 at half. Tennessee leads over Tennessee State. A little bit of a rivalry game at Knoxville right now. Tennessee leads 43-21. Tip-off coming soon for the 8:30 game. Wake Forest versus Texas Tech. That game will be played after Memphis and Purdue wrap things up. Texas Tech looking like a favorite in that one, but not by much. Just under 10-point spread for Texas Tech, but I think that's a Wake Forest team that could really cause an upset, maybe a little bit of a stir over this Texas Tech team, rather. Then Houston will play Rider, and Houston expected to win that one as they have a spread of -40.5. Yeah, I said that, -40.5. Unbelievable. But that's really what's going on in the college basketball world right now. Of course, tip-off just about 3 minutes underway, so we'll head to break. When we come back, it'll be Jake Zirolli and Andrew Relvas leading you for the second half here in Millett Hall. 3 minutes away from play. Stick around. Don't go anywhere when we come back. It's a second half play as the RedHawks enter the court once again, looking to go 4-0 find out if they win. We'll be back for the wrap-up after this one, looking for a RedHawk victory. Mercyhurst staying alive, though, in this one right now.
We're back inside Millett Hall with the second half just about to get underway. Andrew Relvas alongside Jake Zirolli. RedHawks up 37-29, but this is a game that's gone both ways. It's gone back and forth, and for the RedHawks, they were favored by about 16 points coming into tonight, but Mercyhurst has given Miami all they can handle on the road tonight. But, of course, the RedHawks looking to improve to 4-0, and they'll try and have a stronger second half here tonight in just about 2 minutes.
Yeah, they gotta bounce back in the second half, and they're winning. They're up by 8 points. But what's really making me pause for a moment is the apparent lack of hustle in this team. And it's unfortunate because it's a really talented basketball team. They're playing good basketball. Just these situations where you don't necessarily need a guy to knock down a shot or to make a good take to the basket. You just need somebody to get on the floor and get a rebound. Miami is missing that right now, and that is not very common for this team. We've seen just not only over the past few games, but just over Travis Steele's tenure, this being his 4th season. A lack of hustle has never been an issue, and today it is. Now, it may be Mercyhurst hustling more in comparison. That's very possible, but especially on the defensive glass, that's even more concerning. They are getting out-rebounded on their own possessions. It's 12-10. Miami getting more rebounds with their defensive compared to Mercyhurst's offensive. For comparison, Mercyhurst has 10 defensive rebounds. Miami has 2. So that is just that start comparison there tells you all you need to know. Miami need to clean up their rebounding game, because if this streak of offensive rebounds continues for Mercyhurst, I do not like where this game is going to go for Miami, and we may be seeing an upset here in Oxford.
RedHawks are Mercyhurst is out rebounding Miami 20-14, but the RedHawks out rebounding them defensively 12-10. So that's a good sign, but we'll see if they can get more possessions on the offensive side. Miami moving from right to left, leading by 8, 37-29 in the second. Downhill, Antoine Woolfolk throws down the hammer, the two-handed flush to open up the second half, and the RedHawks lead 39-29 in the second.
Well, you don't normally start sentences with exclamation points, but Antoine Woolfolk just has started this half with an exclamation point, because, oh my goodness, he threw that thing down.
I believe that's the first Miami dunk we've had of the game, and it's a good one as Miami extends the lead to double digits. Jake Lemmelman down low, Kadir Martin bouncing off of Byers, and he gets the right-handed layup to fall. It's 39-31 in the second. Ian Elmer on the right side over to Antoine Woolfolk, defended by Gamble. Woolfolk will pick it up, spinning inside, bounces over Byers in the corner. Ipsaro for 3, rolls out as Skowjak rose for the rebound, and this will be a foul on Miami.
That's going to be 4 on Skowjak. And out he comes. Trey Perry will check right in.
And that's a tough one for Skowjak. Only 3 points, 14 minutes for him, and 4 fouls. Comes out quickly.
They were hoping he'd step up with no Peter Suter. He's hustled hard. He really has, but he's gotten himself into some foul trouble.
And Kadar Martin all alone. Righty layup is good for him. He had a freeway wide open, and that cuts the Miami lead to 6, 39-33. Got to be better on the defensive side for Miami. Working up top, Ian Elmer on the right wing. Gives it over Antoine Woolfolk. Hands shortly, Ian Elmer. Dashing down the lane, puts up a shot. He was fouled. This will be on the floor, though, as the Miami bench wants it to be an and one.
And it is.
Wow.
Referee
They'll
has
call
given,
it.
after a quick conference with her associate, the referee has given the basket. So Ian Elmer will go to the line with a chance for a three-point play. A really nice take there. That did look pretty close as to whether he was going up for the shot or whether or not it was on the floor. But there will be 2 and potentially 3 here. And there it is.
And he gets the three-point play. Foul on Bernie Blunt, by the way. So Miami leads 42-33. Largest lead, by the way, is 12 points, and it's at 11 right now.
It's the second foul on Blunt. 4 Lakers with 2 or more fouls.
And a ready layup the other way, off the window and in for Martin, and it's 42-35. Back and forth we go in this second half. Ian Elmer on the left wing, hands over Trey Perry, back up top Evan Pissarro. They kick around the key. Brant Byers over Woolfolk. Ian Elmer, left wing 3, and that missed off the left rim, and the rebound is cleared by Cameron Johnson.
RedHawks about 36% from 3 in that first half. They're going to need to start shooting a little better if they want to keep taking those shots.
Christian Gamble on the edge of the red M of Miami. Near half court. Bernie Blunt working against Pissarro. The kick over Lemelman in the corner. Far side of 3, and he drills it. It's 42-38. Jake Lemelman gets his 3rd three-pointer of the game. Ian Elmer, right wing 3 to answer. Missed off the front rim, grabs his own miss, taps back out to Perry. Far corner 3, and that misses again. Battle for the board, won by the Lakers, and a hard foul on Miami. Looks like this is going to be on Evan Pissarro. And so far to open up the second half, Miami 0 for 4 from deep. Got to be better. And this is going to be a turnover the other way quickly on Mercyhurst. It was out of bounds off of, looked like that was Christian Gamble.
I'm not quite sure what happened there. Did he step onto the court while inbounding? That might have been it.
And that's what it was. So a sloppy turnover gives a possession back to the RedHawks. Antoine Woolfolk inside, put up a shot. He was fouled on his way up on Kadir Martin. 12th foul on the Lakers.
Miami 4 of 5 from the free throw line, shooting 80%. They got to keep making their free throws.
And now we see Woolfolk at the line. Woolfolk last year, 62% free throw shooter, makes the first one. Former Rutgers Scarlet Knight transferred in last season. Increases scoring this year, misses the second. Rebound was tapped around, ball's loose on the floor. Perry had it for a moment before Lemelman swipes it right back. Kadar Martin, and it's taken away by Perry. Here's Perry, righty, layup is good. A scoop and score for Trey Perry, and that leads to a quick Mercyhurst timeout. Miami leads 45-38 in the second.
Bit of a lazy dribble handoff there from, I believe that was Gamble and Lemelman, and Perry pounced right on that. He had tunnel vision there on that layup, right to the rack, and he is fired up. This Miami team is trying to pull away, and it looks like they are. Their lead was shrunk down to 4, but it's back to 7 now. Looking to increase that gap, put the Lakers to bed.
So far, second half is in favor of the Lakers, 9-8 the score, but that's still hopefully a sign of good things to come for the RedHawks, as they, like you mentioned, they try and put away these Lakers who are not going away.
That loose ball there just a minute ago. A little bit better on that point we were making earlier about just being able to hustle. That ball is on the floor. I saw at least 3 green jerseys on the floor, on the deck, getting that loose ball. I might have seen 1 white jersey on the floor. You know, you got to be able to hustle and get those loose balls. If basketball teaches us anything, is that hustle wins championships above anything else. People say defense does. It's hustle at the end of the day. Miami has to keep going with that. It's a core principle of winning basketball games no matter who you're playing against.
Yeah, and on that point, Miami has 6 fast break points to Mercyhurst, none. So they're looking pretty good so far.
They've done very well at forcing turnovers. Mercyhurst with 9, Miami with 5. 2 of those just being an Ian Elmer step out of bounds, so not even really a forced turnover, more just a mental lapse for a second. Mercyhurst falling victim to those turnovers, and just the only thing that Miami is doing that is keep Mercyhurst in this game is not getting the offensive rebounds. I keep banging on this drum, but it's true. They need to get those rebounds. Yeah, you know, they're playing against the Mercyhurst Lakers, but they're rebounding like the Los Angeles Lakers right now. It's not good. Travis Steele knows it. They've got to get these rebounds, and I will not be surprised if they deployed more of a 2 big man set. Maybe seeing Wolfhook and Atlason, some Tyler Robbins more in the second half to get these rebounds if Mercyhurst starts getting some more.
You see Byers and Atlason coming in. So it is Byers, Atlason, Elmer, Perry, and Ipsaro starting 5 for the RedHawks.
And even there, a bit of a smaller lineup there. Atlason and Byers, the 2 tallest on the court at 6'8". The size will be important here in getting these rebounds.
Lakers move it from left to right. Here's Jake Lemelman up top against Trey Perry. Kick on the right side back over to Gamble. Back to Lemelman up top. Cameron Johnson straightaway 3-pointer missed off the front rim. Battle for the board, and it's taken back by the RedHawks. Ipsaro gets the board. 16-16 left to go in the second. Miami up 45-38. Here's Trey Perry sprinting downhill. Trey Perry kicks in the corner for Ian Elmer, and they work it back up top to Perry before he was fouled by Lemelman. Nice ball movement inside by the RedHawks, and they get rewarded with a Mercyhurst foul.
Lemelman getting a little too handsy there. He's not a big guard. He's 6'2", 165 from Newtown, Mass. Got a little too handsy there. He's going to pick up a foul.
16 minutes left to go. Here's Evan Ipsaro racing down the lane. Gives up top Almar Atlason. Puts up a shot, draws a ton of contact, and it rattles home. And Miami leads 47-38 in the second.
Well, he's not one to shy away from contact. He's a big guy, 6'8", 235. He is ready to initiate that contact. Go in there with his shoulder, and he does it there. Gets the 2 to go.
Ready to lay up deep inside the paint, and we got a travel on Jake Lemelman the other way, and it goes back to Miami. Nicely done by the RedHawks as they will head into the media timeout up by 9. And they're on a 5-0 run, can make it a lot more if they keep it up. And with that, we'll take a media timeout. 15:36 left to go. The RedHawks up 47-38. You're listening to Miami men's basketball on Red Hawk Radio. 15:36 left to go in the second half as the RedHawks are up 47-38. Andrew Relvas alongside Jake Zirolli. Hope you're enjoying tonight's Thursday night basketball game between Miami and Mercyhurst. Atlason inside to Byers, and this one is blocked by Martin. Picked back up by Perry. Atlason left wing three to answer, missed off the left rim, and this will roll out of bounds off of Miami. So nice effort there from Perry, but another empty possession for the RedHawks.
Much better hustle, though. Really encouraging there from Perry. Went out and got that loose rebound with two guys around him. Found Atlason there and gave it a good run to get that one after Atlason's three clanged off the side rim.
Bernie Blunt on the inbound, goes short side to Deshaun Jackson. Leading scorer for Mercyhurst is Jake Lemmelman, who is off the floor currently. Inside, Cameron Johnson, and he was fouled. This will be on Atlason right near the free throw line. Stops the clock at 15:05. On the inbound, it'll be Deshaun Jackson, who kicks in the corner now, driving inside Bernie Blunt, falling to the floor, and another quick foul. This one might be on Atlason. And this will be on Trey Perry. Fortunate there for the RedHawks, and this will be free throws for the grad student Blunt.
That's two on Perry.
And Blunt makes the first free throw. Blunt coming in, had 4 straight double-figure games, trying to make it 5 in a row. He's currently up to 9 points now as he makes them both, and it is 47-40.
He's been real productive this season, averaging 18, 3, and 2 on 45% shooting. He's dangerous. You said he was one of the NEC's best players. I can see why.
Atlason kicks right wing three. Byers rolls around, and another rebound tapped off by Kadir Martin. RedHawks are shooting 0 for 6 from 3 in the second half. Gotta be better.
Just 4 for 15 on the day, 26.7% from 3. When on the season, they're actually the best in the MAC, shooting 48.2% from deep. They gotta turn that around.
Down the lane, right-handed layup is good for Deshaun Jackson, and it's 47-42. 5-point lead for the RedHawks.
Really nice move there from Jackson, that floater down the lane.
Ipsaro, free throw jumper, shook a Laker. That one was Sean Lang, but he missed it, and the rebound goes back to Blunt. Blunt working around Ipsaro, and they kick back up top to Deshaun Jackson. 14 minutes left to go in this second half. 5-point lead for the RedHawks. Deshaun Jackson working around, kicks over Sean Lang, back to Jackson. Thought about the three, kicks up top Cameron Johnson, back over Jackson. Jackson sprinting inside, far elbow jumper, he's got it, and the lead is down to 3 for Miami.
Seeing the first cameo of Sean Lang here, the senior from Newmarket, Maryland.
3-point lead for the RedHawks, 47-44, 13 and a half left to go in the second. Evan Ipsaro sprinting inside against Lang, searching for Elmer. Ball's flying everywhere. Trey Perry on the floor, and he was fouled. This one will be on Kadir Martin, and that'll be his second. So the RedHawks have been sloppy in this second half. They need to be better. They're only up by 3 against Mercyhurst. We'll see if they can get a big push here. Evan Ipsaro on the inbound near baseline. Floats up top to Antoine Woolfolk against Ivanauskis. Antoine Woolfolk 2-on-1. This will be an offensive foul. This will be a foul on Antoine Woolfolk inside the paint. Offensive foul, and it pushes it back to Mercyhurst.
It's only Woolfolk's first. He'll be all right. Just a little bit of an elbow there, it looked like, trying to get past Ivanauskis.
Can tie it up with a three-pointer here for Mercyhurst. Mikolas Ivanauskis up top to Deshaun Jackson, dancing with Byers near the free throw line. Righty layup off the window, no. Battle for the board, and this will be a foul on Byers. Miami can't believe it. Byers can't either. A foul on Brant Byers stops it at 12:58. That'll be his second.
Byers, the one that went to ground there. They're calling him for a holding foul, saying he might have grabbed Deshaun Jackson there down low. I'm not so sure about that.
Sixth foul in the half as well for Miami. Inside, Kadir Martin drew some contact off the window and in, and it's 47-46. Miami ahead by 1. The RedHawks trying to win 4 in a row. Ian Elmer up top, driving inside the free throw line. A jumper missed off the front rim. Foul, and this will be on Mykolas Ivanauskas, who drew some contact.
I was actually going to be on Kadir Martin down there. That's his third. His second foul in just a minute or two. Might just be the break the RedHawks needed there, as this lead is down to 1.
Miami's been scoreless for 3 minutes, and they turn it over on the inbound. Taken away by Lemmelman. 1 point lead for Mercyhurst. Or excuse me, 1 point lead for the RedHawks.
Feels like it might be turning the other way, though, with the momentum that the Lakers are getting here.
Mykolas Ivanauskas over to Jackson. Up top, Lemmelman. Bouncer down low. Tipped away, and it's taken back by Ipsaro. 3-on-1. Ipsaro drives inside, draws a ton of contact, and he was fouled. It'll be on Kadir Martin, and that's a big one. That's his fourth.
I mean, that's his third foul in, what, the last 2 minutes? So he will surely be taking a seat. Yeah, I see that is going to be Cameron Johnson coming into the game. Martin goes and takes a seat. Manchel has seen enough. He needs him on the court for the the second half, excuse me. Been doing too many women's games. If they're going to keep this one close.
And Ipsaro's at the line, makes the first free throw. These are some big free throws coming up for Ipsaro, as the RedHawks have not made a field goal in the past 3 minutes or so. Second free throw from Evan, and it's good, and Miami leads 49-46 in the second. Lead back up to 3 for the red and white.
Those 2 free throws stopping the bleed in there, holding off the run.
Lemmelman over Jackson, back to Lemmelman, over to Blunt, back to Jackson on the right wing. Kicks inside, Blunt down low, Mykolas Ivanauskas over the top of Woolfolk. The layup's good, and it's 49-48 in the second.
Really, really, really nice ball movement there from Mercyhurst. They were moving around quick, eventually got that ball inside.
Skowjak, left wing 3, he got it. Skowjak extends Miami's lead to 4. It's 52-48 in the second.
They needed that one. They were 4 of 13 from the field in the second half so far. With that one, they get up to 5 of 14. They needed that shot to fall.
Up and under, and this will be a foul on Woolfolk. That was Jackson. He went up, thought it was all ball for Antoine Woolfolk, and now that'll push Mercyhurst into the bonus. There were 7 total personal fouls in the entire first half, and about half that time there's already 7 personal fouls on Miami. And with that, we'll head into a media timeout. We've got a close one here, 52-48. A good one on Thursday night between the Lakers and the RedHawks. Stay with us. 11:24 left to go, and the Lakers are at the free throw line. It'll be Deshaun Jackson, the Covington, Kentucky native. Overall, Mercyhurst 6 for 7 at the free throw line this game. And the lead is 52-48 RedHawks over the Lakers. And Jackson misses the first free throw. RedHawks rowdies are letting him hear it.
Swoops back there doing his best, doing his LeBron celebration, trying to throw him off here.
Jackson's 67% free throw shooter on the year, and he splits the pair. It's 52-49. 3-point lead for the RedHawks. See if the RedHawks can go on a run here. Ipsaro over to Skowjak, nearly intercepted. Up top to Atlison, over to Woolfolk. Kicks over Atlison in the corner. Ipsaro for three. Hit back rim, batted it back to Atlison. Straightaway three-pointer, puts up a shot. He's fouled. It'll be on Bernie Blunt, and that'll be 3 free throws for the Icelander.
Say that 5 times fast, but we've seen this same foul happen a few times. The shot goes up. Smaller guy tries to come in and block it, just lands on his foot, and that is a textbook foul. Easiest call in the book for an official.
And here's some big big free throws coming up for Almar Atlison as he makes the first one.
Might have caught you in a bit of a tongue twister there, Andrew. That's my fault.
Makes the first one. Here's the second. He's good on that one. The Bradley Braves transfers had a big impact in his first few games in Oxford, averaging 10, 2, and 3. And he's got 13 tonight. Make it 14. He's 3 for 3 on the trip.
Miami 6 of 7 from the line so far.
Converts the three-point play the old-fashioned way, and it's 55-49. RedHawks over the Lakers. Sean Lang up top to Deshaun Jackson on the edge of the red M. Sean Lang down low, Jake Lemelman, far elbow jumper, he got it. Up to 15 now, and it's 55-51 Miami.
Really nice there from Lemelman. Tough angle, fading away, perfection.
4-point lead for the RedHawks approaching the 10-minute mark. Ipsaro driving down low, had Woolfolk, instead goes to Byers on the line, and this will be a foul on Lemelman. That'll be a second. These fouls are really starting to pile up for both teams in the second half.
We're going to see a lot of free throws as this one comes down the stretch, and it's who makes their free throws is going to win this basketball game. They're both shooting it pretty well from the line. Mercyhurst 77.8%, Miami 88.9%, but the free throws are going to decide this basketball game. You mark my words.
Sarad retie his shoe, and he goes on the inbound far side to Woolfolk. Woolfolk on the high block, 2-on-1, threads the needle up top. Atlison for 3. Hit back heel, and the rebound is swung in and picked up by Lemelman.
I mean, Evan Ipsaro just watched that rebound sail. He's got to get in there. I know he's not the biggest guy, but just getting the body on somebody, getting those rebounds, you're only up 4. Every rebound counts.
10 minutes left in this game. Bernie Blunt over the top. Lefty layup is good over 2 RedHawks, and it's 55-53. Lakers won't go away as Bernie Blunt went a little bit too physical there. Bumped into Evan Ipsaro, and that'll be a foul on him. That'll be his 4th.
As soon as he gets into double figures with 11 points, picks up his 4th foul. I'm sure he will be seeing the bench now. Christian Gamble is going to come on. Gamble with a personal foul himself as well. Let's not forget Ivanauskas also with 3. Johnson and Jackson Jr. also with 2 each. Foul trouble is running rife for the Lakers and the RedHawks as well. Skowjak with 4, and then 4 guys with 2 fouls.
And here's Evan Ipsaro on the 1-on-1, and he misses the free throw, batted back, and this will go out of bounds. They're going to say last touch by a Laker. Hard to see who it was in the scrum, but it'll stay with Miami. So fortunate there. The RedHawks will get a new possession. Miami leading 55-53 in the second against Mercyhurst. It's Brant Byers Gives top of the key to Antoine Woolfolk over left wing three. Byers, and he sinks it. Brant Byers hits a huge three-pointer, and Miami leads 58-53 in the second.
You know, you need a shot, you call Brant Byers. That is his team's bread and butter, the outside shot. They're shooting so well from the outside this season, almost 50% from three.
Ivanauskas answers with a far corner three-pointer. It's 58-56.
Seems the Lakers can shoot it as well.
2-point lead for the RedHawks again. Ian Elmer searching for bodies, has Byers inside for Woolfolk. Tapped back to Almar Atlason. Lost the ball, wanted the foul. Taken away by Lemelman. Up over the top. Bodies flying everywhere. The RedHawks have numbers. Ipsaro over to Elmer. Righty layup off the window and in, and it's 60-56 Miami. Timeout Mercyhurst.
Gamble's still down. This isn't good.
As he took a huge hit on the floor.
He didn't even try to get up. That is not looking good. Medical staff is out there with him. Lemelman checking in on him as well. It was that rebound down the other end. Ipsaro grabbed it with one hand. Really inexplicable how he came up with that rebound. It looked like 4-on-2 in favor of Mercyhurst there. Ipsaro comes down with it. Gamble meets the business end of the hardwood. Hopefully he's okay here. Looks like it's the right leg.
Yeah, took a hard fall, and with that, we'll take a injury timeout. The score is 60-56 Miami over Mercyhurst, and we will return in a moment. So Gamble walking off to his own power. Seems to be okay, getting some treatment from the trainers, and it'll be Mercyhurst basketball moving from left to right, trailing 60-56, 8.5 left to go in the second. Up top, Kadir Martin with 4 fouls. Lemelman, beautiful feed inside for Ivanauskas, off the window and in, and it's 60-58. They continue to go back and forth.
They just won't go away. Miami keep trying to put them away, just don't go away.
Ipsaro up the top, around the key, feeds in the corner. Waltz thought about the three, fakes it, kicks back up top. Ipsaro, Byers for three on the far side, can't get the friendly roll. Rebound back to Furman.
I tell you what, this isn't a sold-out crowd here, but if Byers made that three, the roof would have come off this place.
Miami shooting an abysmal 2 for 11 in the second half from three. Inside, Kadir Martin tipped away by Byers. Ipsaro has the ball, commanding the offense. Circling back, Byers, left wing three. He missed everything on that one. And the rebound goes back to Jackson. Bad air ball there.
Miami is shooting 50% from three this season going into this game. Best in the MAC. Tonight, 28.6%, 16.7 in this half. Really, really poor from beyond the arc.
Can Tyre take the lead here for the Lakers? Inside, Caden Furman down low. Ball's loose. Ian Elmer nearly have it. Ivanauskas stole it right back. Ivanauskas puts up a shot. He was fouled. He'll go to the line.
Again, another rebound that gets away. That ball's on the floor. Woolfolk trying to pick it up. Got poked away from him. And to no surprise, a green jersey is on the floor getting that ball. A white jersey standing there watching it happen. And this is what is going to make the difference in this basketball game. You got to get down and get those loose ball rebounds, especially in such a scrappy and sloppy game as this one has been.
We'll take a timeout with 7:13 left to go. The Lakers are not going away. It's 60-58 here in the second, and we will take a break. continues to stay a close game inside Millett Hall as Miami leads 60-58 over Mercyhurst. And now this will be free throws coming up for Mykolas Ivanauskas, as that foul was on Antoine Woolfolk. That'll be his third. So 2 free throws here for Ivanauskas, and he can tie it up. And Ivanauskas makes the first one. The Lakers have not led in this game, but they can essentially do that with a stop and a score on the next possession. And the second free throw is good, and we are tied for the second time tonight. 60-60 with 7:13 left to go in the second.
Miami led by 12 at one point in this game. Now it's tied. This is not good for Travis Steele's men.
RedHawks got to be better. Lob inside. Antoine Woolfolk against Ivanauskas on the low block. Driving inside, 2-on-1. Woolfolk drawing some contact, puts up a shot. He was fouled. That'll be on Kadir Martin, and that's his 5th, so he should be done.
He's standing there like a statue with his hands in the air, and that's not going to reverse the call. That is 5 on him, and it's curtains for Kadir Martin. He'll finish his night 10 points, 8 rebounds, an assist, a steal, and 3 blocks. He was all over the glass, offensively and defensively, but he will make his curtain call with 6:57 left in the half.
Had a big defensive game, and now Woolfolk makes the first free throw. Overall, Miami 17 for 20 from the free throw line. And the second free throw is good, and the RedHawks extend their lead to 2. 62-60, RedHawks up by a pair.
Need to stop here.
Cameron Johnson in, up top straightaway three-pointer. Ivanauskas, and he answers. The Lakers have their first lead of the game. It's 63-62 in the second. Having himself a game inside Millett Hall. A hostile environment. Ian Elmer over to Antoine Woolfolk. Woolfolk has it, working downhill. Woolfolk, righty layup in traffic, off the glass and in, and Miami retakes the lead at 64-63. RedHawks over the Lakers in the second.
Really nice there from Woolfolk. He's not afraid to lower his shoulder and go into that paint.
Up top, Mykolas Ivanauskas over to Jake Lemelman. Back over Furman on the right side, Deshaun Jackson. 6 minutes left to go. A 1-point lead for the RedHawks. 64-63. Jake Lemelman working against Elmer. Kicks in the corner. Deshaun Jackson for 3. That was a bad shot, and the rebound is cleared by Byers. Looked like he released it a little bit too late there.
It certainly did look a little bit disjointed, not what we normally see from him.
And this is going to be a foul on Ivanauskas, and this will be his 4th.
That's now 1 Laker fouled out, 2 with 4 fouls. Blunt and Ivanauskas, both with 4 fouls. Blunt currently on the bench. Ivanauskas, may meet the same fate right here with Christian Gamble waiting in the wings.
I mean, and those are now 2 huge contributors. If you could potentially get them out, I mean, you could really push this game away. But up by 1, you need these free throws to fall. And Antoine Woolfolk misses the first one. A little bit high there.
It'll be Sean Lang and Gamble coming on for Furman and Ivanauskas. And seeing Blunt and Ivanauskas both on that bench is a good sight for this RedHawk team. They've got to get on a little run right now. This is a smaller lineup for Mercyhurst. Got to get some boards.
And Woolfolk misses them both.
That doesn't help either.
So Woolfolk comes up empty on the trip, and the RedHawks still lead by 1, 64-63. This bench unit for Mercyhurst has got to be good in the crunch time coming up. Sean Lang up top over to Deshaun Jackson. Miami leading 64-63 over Mercyhurst. About 5 minutes and 15 left to go, and we got a foul, as this one might be on
Skaljak.
And it'll be on Luke
That's
Skaljak.
Ipsaro.
Or yeah.
Ipsaro, excuse me.
Ipsaro.
That will be 2 on Ipsaro.
Now we'll see Skaljak come back in.
Actually, they've given that foul to Byers. That'll be his 3rd foul. So 2 strikes for us there on identifying who the foul was on. Not our best performance.
1-and-1 coming up. Big ones for Deshaun Jackson. Chance to tie it up here. And Jackson misses it. Rebound cleared by Elmer.
Looked like another disjointed release there. That did not look comfortable for him, which is odd considering it was a free throw.
5 minutes left to go. 64-63 RedHawks lead. Skowjak over Ipsaro on the right wing. Searching for open bodies. Has Perry. Now drives downhill. Trying a no-look pass for Elmer, and it's intercepted by the Lakers. Here is Jackson. Righty layup off the window and in, and the Lakers retake the lead 65-64. 4 minutes and 45 left to go in the game.
Can't leave that lane wide open there. They just cleared out thinking he would kick it out. He never did. Just went straight to the rack.
Atlison on the near side. Right-handed floater, and he misses it. 4 Lakers were there.
I mean, there were, as Andrew just said, 4 green jerseys right there, not a single white one right there. All waiting outside for the rebound. That's not where it went. It was right there. They got to have guys in there.
In the corner, Jackson driving inside. Kicking out Lemelman, right wing 3. That hit back heel, and Skowjak hunts it down on the far side. Racing the other way, here's Luke Skowjak down the lane. Lefty layup off the window and in, and Miami retakes the lead 66-65. Timeout, Miami. What a play by Skowjak, taking it coast to coast, and the RedHawks are up by 1.
And they needed that. Normally they rely on Peter Suter for moments like that. Suter's not here tonight. Skowjak is stepping in. Found himself in some foul trouble early. He's still got 4, so he's walking on real thin ice right now. But a big play there from the sophomore out of Brecksville, Ohio.
I mean, this game kind of feels like that Old Dominion game where Miami started out, well, a little bit different because Miami started out shooting the 3 ball great, but in the second half they have shot an abysmal 2 for 12, and it's been a much closer second half with Mercyhurst outscoring Miami 36-29, and you want to talk about a entertaining game. This one's been entertaining, but a little bit too close to comfort for Miami.
I mean, living and dying by the 3 ball is tough. That's where a lot of teams are going now. As basketball continues to get just sort of updated by new players, living and dying by the 3 ball is tough. It's not easy to have that be your primary mode of scoring, but Miami shot it really, really well in the past, and they're almost 50% from 3 going into this game, leading the MAC. They are first in the MAC in every offensive stat. Every single one, every major one, field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, and free throw percentage. Excuse me. And offensively, they just haven't had that same marksman's ability. They've got to either shoot the ball better or pass up the shots. They've got to get the ball inside or they got to make the outside shots. You got to pick one. That's all.
And more specifically, the RedHawks came in shooting 48.2% from deep. That's second in the nation in 3-point percentage. And they're also second in the nation in 3-pointers made per game. And they've only made 6 tonight, including 4 in the first half. So they are exactly living and dying by the 3-pointer, but I guess a good sign is Miami has more points on the paint, outscoring them 28-26, and with a couple of Mercyhurst players in foul trouble, you really might be trying to attack the paint more often with about 4 minutes left to go in the game. We'll see, though. So the RedHawks are up by 1.
Speaking of those Lakers in foul trouble, one of them is on the court now. Bernie Blunt is on right now. Ivanauskas is still taking a seat, but Blunt is on his 4th foul as Byers is getting ready to check back into the game for Miami.
Miami ahead 66-65. Mercyhurst moving from left to right. Sean Lang up top, hands close to Jake Lemelman. Lemelman working against Elmer, hands over to Gamble. Over Sean Lang. Lang defended by Atlison, over to Lemelman in the far corner. Hands over Gamble. Left wing 3 as the shot clock expired. Battle for the board. It's won by Woolfolk and the RedHawks.
They needed that rebound. Shot clock violation, getting an offensive rebound there would be heartbreaking for Miami, but Woolfolk fights for it, grabs it. Miami now looking to break them down in possession here.
Huge stop for the RedHawks. Atlason against Gamble on the right wing, driving inside the paint, spins around inside the paint, righty layup off the window and in. Atlason gets a huge layup, and Miami leads 70-65.
Really smooth there from the Iceland native.
Rather, it's 68-65. Little ahead there. 3-point lead for the RedHawks. 2:41 left to go. Down the lane, Bernie Blunt falling down, righty layup off the window and in. It counts, and he's a free throw away from tying this one up.
I mean, that's just a great play there. Got forced out of the paint, almost on the ground by the time he let that ball go. It finds its way into the square and into the rim. Really, really nice take there from Bernie Blunt, getting him up to 13 points, and can tie the game here with a free throw.
And Travis Steele is irate on the sidelines. Huge free throw coming up for Bernie Blunt, the Morgantown, Pennsylvania native, and he missed it. It's 68-67.
No Lakers waiting for the rebound there. Even Miami is going to get that one the way they're rebounding.
1-point lead for the RedHawks. Ipsaro driving inside, draws the contact. This will be on Cameron Johnson, and Ipsaro will go to the line. That is the third foul on Cameron Johnson. So these fouls are really starting to pile up for the Lakers. About 2.5 left to go in the game. The RedHawks up 68-67. And Ipsaro makes the first free throw. It's 69-67. Last year, the RedHawks were a pretty good free throw shooting team, but this year it feels like they're a lot better. And here's the second free throw, and it's good from Ipsaro. And the RedHawks lead by 3 again, 70-67 in the second. Big defensive possession upcoming for the RedHawks. Deshaun Jackson over Ivanauskas on the right wing. Hands close, Bernie Blunt, defended by Ipsaro, hounded by him. And Bernie Blunt gets the layup to fall between two RedHawks, and it's 70-69, 1-point lead for Miami.
Really nice left-handed scoop there from Blunt. He can get to the basket really well.
Blunt tied for the team lead in points with Lemelman at 15. Here's Ian Elmer driving inside, runs over Ivanauskas, or rather this is Lang, offensive foul, and that'll give it back to the Lakers.
Textbook there from Sean Lang drawing that foul. I mean, Elmer initiated the contact. Lang was stationary. Elmer even put an elbow into him too. Very, very easy for the official waiting in the corner to call, and it's going to go the other way.
RedHawks are on upset alert inside Millett Hall. We'll see if they can stave off the Lakers. 1-point lead for Miami, 70-69. Jake Lemelman over on the left side. Ivanauskas, Lang right side, Lemelman. Back over Bernie Blunt. Blunt drawing some contact with Ipsaro. Hands close. Jackson right-handed floater. It falls. And the Lakers lead again, 71-70. A minute and a half left to go in the game. Here we go. Luke Skaljak up top, trailing by 1, and he draws the foul on Lemelman. Stops it at 1:21.
It's 2 for Lemelman. And he's going to go to the line. Skaljak is got to make these. These have to fall.
Luke Skaljak. First trip to the free throw line for him tonight, and he makes the first free throw, and we are officially tied again.
I mean, if these free throws continue to be a problem, we might see some Ken Carter-esque coaching techniques from Travis Steele on the free throws.
Second free throw is good from Skaljak, and the RedHawks lead 72-71. 1-point lead for Miami. About 75 seconds left to go. A 1-point lead for the RedHawks. Up top, Jackson over to Lemelman on the right wing. Back over Jackson towards midcourt on the edge of the red M of Miami. A minute left to go. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Jackson double team, kicks in the corner. Lang for 3. Missed off the rim. Rebound cleared by Elmer, and the RedHawks can use the clock here.
And that they are going to do. They are in no rush. Could even try to get 2 for 1 here. Looks like they are going to try to.
72-71 lead for the RedHawks. Up top, Skowjak. Downhill, spinning away against Ivanauskas. Searching over Elmer, has him on the left wing. Shot clock winding down now at 5. Ipsaro rises, straightaway three-pointer, no. Rebounded by Woolfolk. The RedHawks have it with 4 seconds separating shot clock and game clock, and a quick foul on Ipsaro against Jackson. What a rebound by Woolfolk.
There's the offensive rebounding we need. Right there. We didn't want it to show up until the last 30 seconds of the game, but Antoine Woolfolk with the biggest rebound of this game so far. The shot clock turns over. It's going to go dark now for the rest of the game.
Can push this to a 3-point lead, and Ipsaro makes the first one. The RedHawks up 73-71. An absolute thriller here on Thursday night. Second free throw coming up from Ipsaro, and he makes them both. Miami leads by 3. No shot clock, 21 seconds left. Miami ahead 74-71. Here we go. Seatbelts are fastened, and now we will take a timeout on Mercyhurst. Stops it at 17.8. We'll keep it here inside Millett Hall with likely the final possession coming up for Mercyhurst.
And you got to wonder what Gary Manchel is drawing up here. Is he looking for a quick shot and then to force Miami to possess it again, thinking they're going to press? Or is he going for one shot here, try and tie the game and send it to an extra period? We'll see what he's got cooking. He's certainly had to do this before in his 23rd season at Mercyhurst. I was actually looking at some of the other coaches across the university. There are some veterans, some real veterans. The athletic director in his first season coached baseball for more than 20 years. The hockey coach is in at least his 20th plus year. There are some veteran coaches at Mercyhurst, and even though this university is newly D1, they're establishing that culture, and Gary Manchel certainly has some tricks up his sleeve here.
They already upset Loyola Chicago about 2 weeks ago, 73-65. They were a 21-point underdog in Chicago. They came away with a victory on the road, and they are searching for another huge victory on this season. But 17.8 seconds left to go. Last possession of the game for Mercyhurst, assuming they miss it. And Miami trying to stay undefeated inside Millett Hall. A ton of storylines on for this final possession. And who will be the three-point shooter? Or if they decide to drive inside and try and get the foul, we'll see which way they decide to go. Deshaun Jackson has it. The inbound from Gamble. Deshaun Jackson driving on the right elbow. Clock at 10. Ivanauskas over to Gamble. Back over Lemelman, and this will be another timeout. Timeout Mercyhurst with 7.6 seconds left to go. So about 10 or 11 seconds went off of that mini possession, and now we will have another timeout.
Manchel must not like what he saw there. They were moving the ball well. Just looked like they were trying to get inside, which is a little odd considering they're down 3 and they need a 3. They're passing around the outside. Miami's just fine with that. It looked like they were trying to get it inside for Ivanauskas, excuse me, which to me just doesn't make a ton of sense. You need a 3 to tie the game and send it to an extra period, and yet you're looking for a ball inside. You got to be looking for a 3 here. I know they're not shooting it great from behind the arc. They're 36.4%, which, to be fair, is better than Miami today. But you need a 3 here. Now you really need a 3. You're running out of time. There you could have at least gone inside, but now they need a 3.
Miami up 74-71, need a 3 to tie it. It's Lemelman, far corner 3, no, the rebound by Byers, and he was fouled, and Miami's gonna shoot free throws to potentially ice this one away. Here we go. So that wasn't the best look from Lemelman, and now Brant Byers will go to the line to ice this one away.
Looked like he panicked there a little bit. Found himself in the corner, nobody there, just decided to put one up.
And he was the guy, too, making the most three-pointers on the night, 3 for 6 now. Brant Byers at the free throw line to ice it, and he gets the friendly roll. Extends Miami's lead to 4.
That one took a little too long to go down. A little bounce around up in the air.
Four RedHawks are back for the defense. And now Byers makes the second. RedHawks up 76-71. That's going to do it inside Millett Hall as the three-pointer from Blunt will fall off on the right wing. And the RedHawks escape with a win. They survive a scare from Mercyhurst, winning 76-71 in a huge game against the NEC Mercyhurst Lakers, in a game that was competitive from start to finish. The Lakers gave the RedHawks all they could handle, but Miami escapes with a win here on Thursday night.
That one was a little too close, Andrew. We're going to get back to beating this drum. It was the rebounding that set them apart. It was the hustle that set Mercyhurst apart. They were coming in here looking for an upset, and they played like it, and they almost had it. They were real close. They led at some points in this game. They were up 71-70. Miami rallied off 6 straight points there to eventually take the game, but that was way too close for Travis Steele to be happy in his press conference after this.
Miami ended the game on a 6-0 run spanning about 90 seconds, and the free throw shooting was crucial as the RedHawks nailed some big-time free throws at the closing moments of this one. They end the second period shooting 17 for 21 from the free throw line, as that was a big storyline, and they take down Mercyhurst by 5. What a game. You wanted a thriller, we got one inside Millett Hall, in Miami gets a big win against Mercyhurst by 5. Well, that's going to do it from Jake, Zirolli, and my name is Andrew Relvas. Thank you for tuning in tonight and spending your Thursday evening with us. Miami comes away with a win. They win 76-71 over Mercyhurst. And now we will turn it over to Gavin Starks for our Red Hawk Radio post-game show coming up in just a minute.
RedHawks come away with a thriller here in Millett Hall tonight. An unbelievable finish to this one here. It's the first close one of the season here in Millett Hall. A lot of energy tonight when it was the Cradle of Coaches game. Lived up to all the expectations and a little bit more. RedHawks pull off the victory, fighting off the Lakers late in this one. At times it felt like the RedHawks might not have it all, but they ended up fighting off the Lakers in a night where they were short of Peter Suter and they had some foul trouble going on and they weren't knocking down the three-pointers like they normally were. A little shaky from all around the field, and they were still able to fight off this Lakers team who came with some tenacity, some hunger, looking to upset the RedHawks. Credit to the Lakers for sure as they battled from start to finish in this one, but the Miami RedHawks earn a big one here at home to stay undefeated on the season and stay undefeated here inside Millett Hall. An exciting one that starts off with a huge rebound in the game from Antoine Woolfolk that ended up securing the victory here inside of Oxford. It was all night we were looking for a big offensive rebound. It struggled throughout the entire night, but the biggest one came when Antoine Folk was able to land down with one with 30 seconds to spare. The Lakers were not able to get off a shot to tie this one up, and the RedHawks iced it with Brant Byers at the line to finish things off. Brant Byers finished with 13 points, 3 for 9 from the field, 3 for 7 from the three-point line, 4 for 4 from the free throw line, 6 rebounds, a steal, a block, in 32 minutes of play. Unbelievable. But you want to talk about minutes of play, let's talk about Evan Epsaro, who just didn't leave the court tonight. 14 points, 2 for 7 from the field. Didn't knock down any of his three-pointer attempts, but he attempted 3 of them. But at the free throw line, he got there 11 times and knocked down 10 of his free throws. 4 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal on 37 minutes of play. An unbelievable outing from the star point guard in Evan Epsaro. Antoine Woolfolk with 11 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal. His presence was more felt in the latter half of this one where he came up with that big rebound like we had just talked about. A little bit of struggle on the boards throughout the night as the RedHawks only came down with 30 as they were coming into the game averaging just over 42 rebounds per game, only 30 tonight, and they were out-rebounded by this Mercyhurst Lakers team with 32. Now the Lakers, credit to them, they did knock down some more threes than they had throughout the season so far. They were only averaging just about 6 three-pointers per game, but they knocked down 8 of those tonight, shooting 34%. And then you want to talk about threes, vice versa. The RedHawks, where they came into a game averaging 13 a game, they only knocked down 6 tonight, and they were 6 for 22 on 27% from the three-point line. Some struggles here inside of Oxford, but they were able to fight off the Lakers to secure their 4th victory of the season, and one where they can gain some momentum. They can play maybe not their best basketball and still fight off teams like the Lakers, who had already gotten a huge upset victory against Loyola Chicago earlier this season. So an interesting one here in Oxford, Ohio, but the RedHawks were able to fight one off and stay undefeated here inside Millett Hall. Stay tuned for the RedHawks season as they'll continue to look for some more victories and stay undefeated, as MAC play is just around the corner here for the RedHawks. Football team looking to be inside of the MAC championship as well, looking to defeat Ball State next weekend. So we wish you an early happy Thanksgiving here from the Red Hawk Radio. I'm Gavin Stark, and I'm saying so long from Millett Hall.